Fe fydd dros 40 o gemau byw gan Sgorio eleni, gyda sylwebeth Gymraeg a Saesneg ar bob un. Gyda nifer o'r gemau ar gael i'w gwylio ar blatfformau digidol Sgorio.
I wylio ar clic, gwasanaeth ar alw S4C, chwiliwch am dudalen Sgorio. Unwaith i'r darllediad ddechrau, bydd modd dewis sylwebeth Gymraeg neu Saesneg.
Bydd modd gwylio'r gêm a sylwebeth Gymraeg ar gael ar dudalen Facebook Sgorio, neu sylwebeth Saesneg ar dudalen YouTube Sgorio. Fe fyddwn yn cyhoeddi dolenni i gyfeirio i'r mannau priodol cyn y gêm.
Cofiwch bod cyfoeth o gynnwys digidol cyson ar gael ac ar alw gan Sgorio.
Sy'n caniatáu i chi dilyn pob cic, tacl a gôl o gynghreiriau Cymru.
Mae e wedi rhoi honno yn ei lle'n berffeth.
Pêl-droed gartref gyda Screwfix. Nodwyr Pêl-droed ar S4C.
Pan mae'r Seintiau'n cwrdd ar Bala, mae unrhyw beth yn gallu.
I sgorio'r Bala, a weddwch chi be, mae'n bosib bod Kieran Smith i sicrhau bod hanes yn cael ei greu.
Ond, os ych chi'n gweithio'r cewri, byddwch yn barod am beth sy'n dod nesaf.
Dreipyn! Sy'n slyfedio, honna di'r ora. Bala dim, y Seintiau Newydd, 7.
Cyn ei cythryddo unwaith yn rhagor.
Ac mae'r Bala am gymryd triphwynt o ddiar y Seintiau Newydd.
Ond nid sioc yw i bellach i weld y Bala'n cystadlu gyda'r goreion.
Mendes, Heibio Smith yn rhy hawdd at y postyn pellach!
Ac i'r Seintiau o'r siom i'r gorfoledd yng ngêm gynta y gwrw Awstralia.
Mae rhaid i hon fynd fewn, a brobl sy'n ei sgorioi.
A'r tymor yma trwch blewyn a rai yn brobl yw'r gwahaniaeth unwaith eto. Tan heno.
Breisiad ddim am brobl dod i mewn! A mae wedi ennill y gêm! Rai yn brobl i'r Seintiau Newydd!
Mae nos Wener, mae'r geiaf yn gafael, ond os unrhyw un yn gallu cadw gafael ar y Seintiau Newydd sy'n torri'n glir ar frig uwch gyngred Cymru JD. Dyna'r her i'r Bala heno, croeso mawr ato ni. Mae'n braf iawn cael bod ma ydy ma, geiaf yn gafel, mae'n brathu o Seintiau Newydd. Mae'n gynnes glid o dan y llifoliadau. Wel, ni ddim ond bell o hynny, chwaith, y Seintiau Newydd ar y brig. Os rhywun yn gallu dal nhw tymor yma, y cwestiwn yw, ydyn nhw mor fygythiol ag o nhw, ond maen nhw dal yno.
Wel, i ateb y cwestiwn, os rhywun yn gallu dal nhw, dwi'n meddwl, i wneud yn siŵr bod bobl dal i wylio drwy'r tymor, wrth gwrs mae rhywun yn gallu dal nhw, ond maen nhw'n edrych mor gry, ac yn gryfach na unrhyw un arall sydd yn cystadlu yn ei herbyn nhw. Ond, dyn nhw, efallai, o ran yr ofn, dio ddim cweit be oedd o. A dwi'n meddwl pan mae clwb fel Ceycona'n ennill y gyngred 2 flynedd ar ôl ei gilydd, mae yna rhywbeth yn diflannu. A mae yna lot o newid i bod o fewn i tîm, o fewn i carfan nhw, y rheolwr hefyd, a dwi'n meddwl falle bod yr ofn ddim cweit yna, ond maen nhw wedi profi hyd yn hyn tymor yma. Nhw ydy'r goreion, eleni, ac falle fydd rhaid disgwyl tan blwyddyn nesaf i weld rhywun arall yn cystadlu.
Ie, fan hyn dechreuodd y cyfan i'r rheolwr, Anthony Limbrick, nôl y mis Ebrill. Oedd hi bach yn boethach, yr adeg ynni. Dyma sy'n digwydd penwythnos yma hoifach wedi bod i'r gyngrair gyda gemau rowndiau cynderfynol. Cwpan y gyngrair penwythnos diwetha, Ceycona yn Aberystwyth heno. Seintiau Jones yn sôn am Ceycona, y pencampwyr, a'r Bala'n erbyn y Seintiau, a'r gemau eraill yn bnawn prysur i ddod, penwythnos prysur dylen ni ddweud, a mae mor agos. Mae'r tabl ma'n gallu newis o gymaint. Drwchwch ar y bwlch na, o Met i ben y bont, 6 pwynt yw'r bwlch. Ond y bwlch ar y brig sy'n cael yn sylw ni ar Seintiau Newydd. Nid ofyn yn gyflym Owain gyda'r Bala, 14 pwynt tu ôl ar ôl 14 gêm. Hwna'n dderbyniol?
Na, ddim digon da. Cyn y Nadolig, bod y bwlch mor fawr a hynna. Yn enwedig maint y garfan, chwaraewyr sydd o fewn y garfan sydd ganddyn nhw, ddylia bod nhw'n cystadlu ac yn lot agosach at y Seintiau Newydd, ond yn anffodus yr un hen stori. Cysondeb ddim cweit digon da, ac fi rhaid disgwyl tan blwyddyn nesaf, bosib y blwyddyn ar ôl hynna, i weld nhw'n cystadlu am y brig.
Gan ni drafod mwy am sefyllfa'r Bala ar ôl i ni glywed gan i'r rheolwr nhw. Rheolwr, gôl-geidfod, mae'n ddrwg dy fi, Alex Ramsey.
Alex, despite the fact we're, almost at the halfway point of the season, it feels like this already could be a massive game. You've got a cluster of clubs fighting to be in the top 6. You're 5th at the moment, so there's quite a lot riding on this evening.
Yeah, definitely. I think having looked back at the start of the season, I think we started really well. Unfortunately, we've been going through a little bit of a difficult time. No doubt with the quality we've got in the change room, we'll hopefully start picking some points up. But like you said, the league is more competitive than I've ever played in the past. So there's some really good teams fighting for that top 6. But I think we've got more than enough quality in the dressing room to really push for top 3.
A common theme with Bala this season is you've got goals in you. You go ahead in the games, but you also concede a lot of goals as well. What do you make of the situation?
Yeah, listen, like I said, we've got an awful lot of quality. A lot of that lies in the attacking players. I think we started the season really well. We kept a number of clean sheets, but we've been really disappointed with the goals we've been conceding recently. But we've tried to rectify that as quickly as we can by training and looking at some clips and that. So listen, I'm sure it will improve, but it does take time.
You're no stranger to the league, of course. 150 caps since 2013, and it doesn't get much bigger than the new Saints at home.
No, listen, it doesn't. I've been lucky enough to play for some fantastic clubs over the years in the Welsh Premier League. I've made some really, really good friends, more so than Bala, really. So, but listen, it'll be a tough test, and I'm pleased to get my 150th appearance, but I'm sure it'll be a difficult one this evening.
Alex, diolch yn fawr.
Thank you very much.
Alex Ramsey yn edrych mlaen at y gêm. A'r pwynt na maen nhw'n ei godi, y Bala gyda rhyw batrwm bach tymor yma, maen nhw'n mynd ar y blaen, ond maen nhw'n ildio'r flantes oedd e ddigwydd yn y Seintiau Newydd yn ddiweddar.
Ie, dwi'n cofio'r gêm yma, y noson yma, lle oedd y Bala ar y blaen a jyst methu dal gafal arni. A dwi'n meddwl, yn amlwg dyna, mae hynna'n un o'r problemau sydd ganddyn nhw, ond oedd hi noson lle, os fysa'r Bala di medru cael y triffwynt, oedd bob dim jyst yn closio. A pwy owyr yn feddylio i'r Seintiau Newydd yn colli yn erbyn un o'r tîmau ddylia bod yn agos atyn nhw, ond wedyn i fynd ymlaen, nid just gêm gyfartal, ond i golli hi, yn amffodus iddyn nhw ddim cweit digon da.
Ni fwynhau'r gol ma eto?
Mae hon yn special dydy, gol y mis gan Ryan Brobos. Sam llawer allu di wneud am hyn o ran safon y gol, yn amddiffynol Siom wrth gwrs, ond am gol, ond wedyn i fynd ymlaen a colli'r gêm. Dyna fydd yn Siom enfawr, ac o ran yr hyder fysa'r Seintiau Newydd yn deimlo ar ôl buddigolaeth fel yma, sgorio dwy gol hwyr, o wedyn maen nhw'n barod i fynd ar rediad ac mynd am y gyngred unwaith eto, ond o safbwynt y Bala, jyst ddim cweit digon da.
Ni wedi bod yn edrych ar ei rhediad nhw, dim i rhediad, ar ôl 14 y gemau tymor yma a thymor diwetha. Ni'n gallu gweld y gwahaniaeth fan hyn, a mae fe'n glir i bawb i weld, lle mae llai o bwyntiau, maen nhw'n is yn y tafl.
Maen nhw wedi cael problemau efo anafiadau. Will Evans yn ganol cae, maen nhw wedi fethu fo, ond mae Dave Edwards wedi dod i fewn a wedi perfformio yn dda iawn. Felly pam bod nhw 8 pwynt oddi ar lle oedden nhw llynedd. Dwi'n cweit yn siŵr, sgen i ddim yr atebion, ond ddylia bod hynna ddim yn digwydd. Yn enwedig mewn tymor lle di Cei Conna ddim yn brwydro efo Seintiau Newydd. Mae yna fwlch yna, a ddylia mae Bala ydy'r tîm i gau y bwlch a gwneud siŵr bod yna rhywun yn cystadlu efo nhw, ond yn anffodus heb ddigwydd.
Ie, na, dych chi'n glywed gan y Seintiau Newydd nesaf, ni wedi clywed gan un gol gyntaf, dych chi'n glywed gan y llall 150 o gemau i Alex Ramsey, 450 a mwy i'r gŵr yma, Paul Harrison.
Well, Paul, here we are. It's always a pretty tasty affair between the new Saints and Bala. What are you expecting this evening?
As you say, it's always a tough game when you come here, especially when it's an away game. A physical game, as always. We're prepared for it. And yeah, as I say, it's just be a tough night and we'll see how it goes.
This Bala side, they're a team, they've got lots of goals in them. You could potentially be in for quite the challenge tonight. You could be busy. Yeah,
definitely. You know, Venables been knocking them in for years now, so you always know what you're up against. But yeah, they're a good team and they can beat anyone on the day. And as you say, tough test and we'll see how it goes.
You've been, at the New Saints for many years now. What would you say is different under Anthony Limbrick this season? Because it seems like there's just no stopping you at the moment.
I think the results obviously have changed because we seem to be a lot more consistent in getting the results and over the line, and I think our standards have just got a lot better. That's not a mark against anything that's gone before, but I think we might have needed a boost, and we've had that since he's come in, and our standards seem to have risen, and we're getting the results on top of it.
Paul, diolch. Good luck tonight.
Cheers, thank you.
Paul Harrison, 2007 greiddodd yr Seintiau Newydd, sa'n chi'n cofio 2007, sa'n cofio wrth neswetha i fod yn hollol onest. Y safonau wedi codi, mae hwnna'n bwynt diddorol hefyd. Gawn ni weld eu patrwm nhw o ran y gemau ar o'r un pwynt tymor diwetha. Llai o bwyntiau os rhywbeth, ond maen nhw'n weddol gyson o hyn.
Di Ceicon na ddim yn ambrwydro ni erbyn nhw, a mae hynna'n gwneud gwahaniaeth enfawr, felly erbyn nhw 3 pwynt yn waith na tymor dwytha, dwi dal yn ffyddiog, mae nhw fydd yn mynd ymlaen i ennill y gyngred. A mae hynna'n golygu bod y rheolwr yn gwneud swydd dda. O llallith o wneud ydy canolbwyntio, gwneud yn siŵr fod y tîm yn gwneud be maen nhw angen. Diolch ots sawl pwynt da chi'n cael ar ddiwedd y tymor os mae chi sy'n cael eich dwylo ar y tlws. A mae hwn wedi gwneud hynna. Mae'n help cael boes fel Harrison yn y gol. Dwi erioed wedi gweld y dyn yna'n cael gêm wael. Dwi erioed wedi gweld yn ei camgymeriad hyd yn oed. Felly mae cael boes fel o fewn y garfan yn wych. Ond mae yna lot o newid wedi bod yn garfan Seintiau Newydd. Lot o mwy o chwaraewyr ifanc. Ac dwi'n siŵr fydd o'n ffyddiog allan o wella.
Anthony Limbrick yn chi'n gymeriad diddorol. Fan hyn dechreuodd y cyfan da fe nôl y mis Ebrill. Mae'n gymeriad hoffus. Mae'n hapus i siarad â pawb. Meddwl lot am y gêm. Ewen taro chi fel chwaraewr rheolwr byddai'n boblogaidd gyda'r chwaraewyr?
Pwy o wyr, syniadau gwahanol, llais gwahanol. Mae hynna wastad yn rhywbeth nerfus i chwaraewyr reit ar y dechrau, ond wedyn rhywbeth cyffroes os da chi'n ennill yma, a dyna sydd yn bwysig i glwb fel y Seintiau Newydd, bod nhw'n parhau ennill, a dyna maen nhw'n neud o dan y rheolwr yma, a maen nhw'n i weld yn mynd o nerth i nerth.
Gen i weld, beth aw heno. Owain, diolch yn fawr iawn. Mae'r chwaraewyr yn barod i gamu i'r cae. Os chi'n gwylio ar clic, mae yna ddewis opsiwn o ran ieithoedd Cymraeg a Saesneg ar gael. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. Great to have your company. Mark Jones and Chris Hughes, the Newton manager, waiting for you there. Ac ar Facebook yn Gymraeg, mae Malcolm Allen a Nick Parry.
Diolch Dylan, noswaith dda bawb. A Colin Caton yn arwain. Ac yn camu i faes llenad y dîmo. Wedi mwynhau cystal hwyl y tymor yma. Dim ond 2 fuddugoliaeth mewn 7 gêm gartre. Ac i seiniau Dafydd Iwan ar faes tegid, mae'r Bala yn croesawu y Seintiau Newydd. Fe alle hi fod yn benwthnos arwyddocaol. Fe alle'r Bala gamu i'r crydydd safle. Fe allan nhw ddisgyn o'r 6 uchaf. Fe alle'r Seintiau Newydd fynd 12 pwynt yn glir ar frig uwch gyngrau'r Cymru. Mae yna newidiadau yn y 2 dîm 2 newid o dîm y Bala. Gollodd yn drwm yn rownd derfynol yr MG. Mae Chris Venables wedi wahar. Mae Will Evans mewn i le o. Mae Mendes mewn y lle Bawres ac yn hym y Seintiau Newydd. Mae yna 3 newid efo Hudson, Routledge a Jordan Williams yn dychwelyd.
Ia'r Bala angen hwb mawr, dydy jyst rhyw fuddugoliaeth o rwla heno, ond perfformiad mwyn ei byd mae Colin Caton ar ôl. Bydd yna 4 yn y cefn yn aros yn gul, fydd yna 3 yn gul yn ganol cae, Shannon Smith a Mendes. Mendes digon o egni i reid y cymorth ma'n i flaen. Ond Dave Edwards, fel da ni wedi bod yn gweld yn ddiweddar o'r tîm Cymru, yw ffals rhif 9. Na, fo fydd yn arwain llinell flaen, ond Will Evans a Rutherford, mor bwysig bod nhw yn cael y croesiadau mewn mewn. A wedyn, da ni wedi arfer gweld hyn, dod tymor hyn efo y reolwr newydd. 4 yn y cefn, digon o brofiad. Nhw sy'n ildio llai na neb arall. Routledge i bybach yn dim. Clark a Redmond, digon o egni rhyw ro bach rili dda'n nhw'n neud beth ddigwydd. Williams o Brobl yn lledyn chwarae. A'r dyn mae McManus i fyny llinell flaen. Dyn yma, Will Evans, dom di colli'r Bala tymor hyn. Ia, oce, mewn 6 gêm wedi chwarae. 1 gol, digon o gema tymor dwytha, 31 gêm allan o 32 chwaraeodd o, nath o gychwyn, a 13 o goliau. Rwan ta, mae nôl yn y tîm heddiw, profi pwynt a sgorio goliau. Wel, Mae'n gredd naturiol i sgorio goliau yn wrth fi. Mae hwn yn un o'r goriau dwi wedi weld yn yr uwchgyngor yma yng Nghymru. Mae o'n cyrraedd ar yr amser cywir. Diolch yn lwc. Mae o'n just yn naturiol ganddo.
Mae'r dyfarnwr Lee Evans o Lanllechyd wedi dangos 4 carden goch. 1 i amddiffynwyr y Seintiau, Keston Davies, ond dio ddim yn chwarae yma heno. Mae noson oer, ond mae wedi bod yn oerach yr wythnos yma. Gêm gyntaf y penwythnos.
Yes, Lee Boyd. Yeah, we can go.
Ac unwaith eto, dewis y chwaraewyr ydy cymryd y ben glin neu beidio. Ac i osgoi unrhyw amheuaeth. Mae'r ymwelwyr yn y glas a'r Bala yn y gwyn a'r du a'r bêl gan Hudson am ddiffynwr tal.
You see any stamina you like to pick out early on, Chris? Great ball from Hudson on the back of the central defender. Clark, I think 4-3-3 by the look of both teams, Chris.
Yeah, I think this may be the pattern, especially for the first sort of 5 or 10 minutes, with Bala just dropping off and filling holes, and TNS trying to open them up and play the football that they used to play over the years. So it's going to be important for Bala just to stay in the game to start with.
Very interesting as well to see Dave Edwards play up top in a centre forward position. You did say earlier on that he had played against you earlier on. Will they miss his guile and his running ability in midfield, though, Chris?
Well, look, you can see there he's dropping into position, so it may be something different for the two centre backs of Hudson and Astles. Maybe, you know, Dave might not play up against them, maybe like Chris Venables would be, but he might drop in and try and find little spaces. So that'll be one to keep an eye out for as the match progresses.
The team, Bala, Alex Ramsey in goals, Callum Woods, Anthony Kay, Anthony Stevens, and Sean Smith at the back, Kieran Smith, Oliver Shannon, Lysander Mendes in midfield, Rutherford, ball across, headed away by Kay.
Good, John.
Yeah, you can see already, Mark. You know, Ryan Brobble, he did it against us a couple of weeks ago, where we thought he was going to play in a wide position, and he's just taken that position up just off the two centre forwards of Williams and McManus. So he's just playing in that little pocket there, and then with Routledge, Clark and Redmond a little bit deeper. So quite interesting. They look like they're playing a little bit of a diamond TNS with Brobble as the 10 and the two centre forwards.
Yeah, many times this season they've alternated with that. Well, Brobble can play wide, and he can also play as a 10. Rutherford as well will come deep, and Williams is the runner of the three, who likes to gallop up and down either wing. Ben Clark. Oh, it's a superb touch. Clark is in early on. Clark pulls it back. Cleared by the fullback.
Yeah, good play by TNS. Good from Ben Clark.
Sean Smith away. It's early pressure from the league leaders. Astles. Redmond. It's good shape in the midfield for TNS tonight. Routledge will be the holder. Clark right side. Redmond the left side. Plenty of ability in there. Headed away by the deep in Lion midfielder there, Kieran Smith.
Yeah, you can see already Kieran Smith has attached himself to Ryan Brobble. Another one to look out for. I think you can just see him now. Jonah just coming into shot and just marking him tight, and TNS, as you would expect, trying to pass and probe, trying to create an opening.
Big game, massive game. Defeated the other. Oh, what a ball that is into the middle. Goalkeeper Ramsey just a little bit slow off his line there. Ramsey. Williams fires a shot into the trees behind the goal there. Not the greatest of shots from Jordan Williams, but it's a great ball in.
Yeah, we've seen that pass. You know, they've tried to play forward quickly, TNS, and get runners in behind, and you know, Clark just done one that Manus has got in, and now Jordan Williams has got in. So, you know, in the first 3 and a bit minutes, you know, that's 3 times they've got in behind the Bala defence, which will be a bit of a worry for him.
Ramsey came to collect that, Chris, and like I said, maybe in his defence, you have basically now only got to touch a player in the box and they go down, so it might have been a smart decision in the end from him, as Edwards gets the flick, asking
it was a great,
where he was.
It was a great pass by Ryan Brobble, and you know, he's got that quality. He proved that against us 2 weeks ago with a great pass for TNS's first goal, and he's certainly got that quality anyway.
They've started like league leaders so far this evening, TNS. I'm sure Caton will be glad to see the first 15 or 20 minutes out with the scores level. They have the ability to score goals. Mendes has been amongst the goals. Edwards has been amongst the goals. Will Evans back this evening. Be an interesting evening for Will Evans. Harrison, as per usual, can pick a pass anywhere. Clark. Movement is superb so far for.
And that's the thing, Jonah, when you play TNS, and you know, people say, oh, why don't you press them high? Why don't you try and get a press on and stop them playing out from the back and stop them building up? But
when you've got a goalkeeper like Paul Harrison, who's, you know, year on, year out, does it every year for TNS and just clips ball, like you've just seen there, he just missed the press out, clipped into Chris Marriott and they were out.
Absolutely. I mean, Harrison was our was a footballing goalkeeper long before I think they come to the fore in the Premier League. Evans gets ahead of Mendes. Sean Smith to Mendes, plenty of bodies in the box already now for Bala. Mendes across, handball, no shout. Not much of an appeal for a handball there. It'll be interesting to see.
You know, this is an important phase for Bala. Set plays, you know, they're not going to have a lot of possession. You know, you'd expect TNS to have the lion's share of possession tonight, but you know, Bala are very good from corners, from free kicks. They've got good delivery. They've got, you know, some big lads in there who can attack the ball. You've got Will Evans, you've got Anthony Kay, you've got Dave Edwards, Anthony Stevens. You know, all who were, you know, if Paul Rutherford can put a good ball in.
It's all about missing out Astles and Hudson, and he does miss them out. But Jordan Williams comes back and gets a header away. It's kept well in play. Great ball from Callum Woods. Smart piece of passing. Great ball across from Shannon also. It's a tremendous cross from Shannon. It's end-to-end stuff in the first 6 minutes at Moise Tegid. It's a great game, open game as well. Great to see the Cymru Premier League back. Congratulations to Cardiff Met and Connah's Nomads last weekend in making the Nathaniel MG Cup final. And Aberystwyth play Connah's this evening. We'll keep you up to date with that score. I'm sure you'll be interested, Chris.
Yeah, there's some tight games. Good run from Mendes, good pass as well.
Tremendous run from Mendes. Edwards bombing in the box to try and get in alongside him. Mendes, as he held it up too long. Just should have released Edwards a bit earlier for me.
But he will do that, Alessandro Mendes. He will get forward, and it's going to be important for tonight. Dave Edwards is going to play in that central role, that he's the one that will jump from midfield and get forward. And we've just seen that. You know, he's got really good legs to get forward and join in, and he's going to be important for Bala.
Well, at times, if you gamble against TNS, if Mendes can get forward, and on the other side, Will Evans get forward, it pins in their fullbacks, which is a very important way of stopping TNS, because otherwise Marriott and Danny Davis, they love getting on the ball. McManus, player of the season so far?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with him. I think he's...
Wonderful
Great
ball
pass
there from McManus. £60,000, don't forget they paid for him just before the beginning of the season. Davis gets it back to Hudson and Astles. I think Dave Edwards is just letting Hudson and Astles have it in their own hands.
I think that looks like to be the strategy there, just letting them pass through and just blocking lines. Obviously with TNS have got a man spare in midfield with playing the Diamonds, so they've got a 4v3, so you know, we might have to do that and just screen one of the midfield players to stop the ball from going in. But they are that good at moving the ball, Mark. They will find the spare man, they will find the holes. So you do have to be disciplined.
Yeah, speaking to Anthony Limbrick earlier on, and he's upbeat. He's disappointed about the defeat against Aberystwyth, obviously, but standards in this league, he said, are very, very high. In fact, a little bit higher than he thought they would be, which is a great, you know, statement for us. Headed down, Kieran Smith. Smith, of course, had his day of glory, getting a winner for Bala against TNS in a Welsh Cup final. Go back that far, Chris?
Yeah, I remember it. The game was at Bangor. I think I remember the game well. Yeah, it was. I think it was Craig Harrison's last game in charge of TNS before he left to go to Hartlepool, and yeah, it was
a magic day.
It was for Bala, certainly.
Hudson, again, allowed to pick his pass.
This is where Bala have got to stay switched on, Mark. Although TNS have got comfortable possession here, it may look comfortable, but they will have runners, they will have rotations, and you've got to stick to your job, stick with your men, because they want that one person to switch off and lose concentration, and then they'll punish you.
Yeah, I think that's so much how the game have changed in the Cymru Premier League. Tactically, it's a massive battle now every game, and you can see in the first 10 minutes of this game that Bala have set up when TNS got the ball to get their banks ready, and exactly the same when Bala get it. They know a lot about each other, Chris.
Yeah, of course. There's no surprises now in the Cymru Premier with all the stats we can get, obviously through the Instat and the familiarity, obviously with 12 teams in the league. You know each team really well and each manager and all the playing staff. So yeah, there's no surprises. I think TNS have got 2 up front tonight, which they did it against us a couple of weeks ago, and they've got Ryan Brobble just playing in that little space. So normally with TNS, the setup is the 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3 with 2 flying wingers, Mullen and Sizovic.
Plenty of ex-Football League players within the Bala ranks, the likes of Woods, Kay, David Edwards. They're really comfortable on the ball. There's plenty of experience there. So
yeah, you can see now just that Bala are trying to press high. Shannon stepped in, Sean Smith stepped in, Will Evans has stepped in.
But there is the TNS.
And there's the one.
Safety.
Yeah, he plays it in.
Always goes back to the goalkeeper, and it's very hard to press the goalkeeper.
That's good from Bala though. If you're going to do it, make him try and kick it in the air, and then as soon as the ball goes in the air, obviously you've turned over possession, and they were able to win the first header and then get the free kick.
Yeah, well, personally, I like Caton's tactics so far this evening. They're not on the greatest of run, Bala. 1 win, I think, in their last 7 games. I'm pleased they are not just standing off and wait, trying to hit TNS on the break. It looks like they're having a go, which is I'm pleased to see.
Well, certainly from goal kicks, because that gives you the chance to reset, because the ball's dead. It's a dead ball. Like now, obviously, you can see that Dave Edwards and Mendes are stepping out. Sean Smith's coming into midfield.
Coming to me.
Harrison picks out Danny Davis.
But then they've got that and they can get out, and now they're in.
That's the goalkeeper's ball again. Great tackle from Woods. Redmond. Mendes has been in the thick of the thing so far. Tremendous clearance from Ramsey, just a little bit too far. In fact, right when the full length of the pitch down to his opposing number 1. It's a fast tempo, Chris.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, very quick. Bala are certainly trying to disrupt the flow with TNS early on, and you saw Will Evans there go and step in and try and deal with Blaine Hudson, and then Sean Smith went on and dealt with Danny Davis, and they stopped the ball and got the turnover. But that's the one, and that's the difficulty, Mark. You put that much energy into trying to get the ball back against TNS, you've got to look after it when you get it, because if you keep giving it back, then you're in for a long night, because they will punish you and hurt you at some point.
No blizzard-like conditions at Maestege. There's Woods just clipping the back of Danny Redmond's heels, and Lee Evans there having just a quiet word with Woods, one of the most experienced officials in this league. Lee Evans always, for me, a decent job in there. Redmond spreads play. Davis. Smith. Almost, he has picked him out. That's a great pick out from Mendes. Rutherford, will he get a shot off? Rutherford drives inside. Edwards finds a bit of space in the box. Woods had to beat the first man. It was teed up well for him. You've got to beat the first man in those positions.
Yeah, good play though, and that's important. When the ball goes in the last third, it's got to stay. Good from Paul Rutherford. Good little play into Dave Edwards. Good set back, and now they've got a corner again. We talked about before how important the corners are. It allows them to get set, allows them to get the big lads in the box, and if they can put a good ball in. But you can see from TNS the defending zonally with Hudson and Astles being the 2 springers to go and deal with anything.
Which you would, I think, if they were in your ranks. Chance there for Anthony Kay. I mean, he scored 5 goals, I think, this season, or in his time at Bala, and I think that was Kay may be disappointed with that, because that's reached Kay in a good area. Did Hudson just get something on?
Yeah, I think he just put him off there. He looked like I think Antti came out. I thought he was in for an attempt at goal there. But good from Bala. The last couple of minutes have been good. We got the ball in the last third. They pressed TNS high, nicked the ball off them, forced a couple of corners.
Davis looking for McManus. They can play either way. TNS, they can go short, they can pass it or go long. I think that's one of the differences this season. I don't think they're too choosy. They don't have to pass their way to scoring goals. Limbrick, I think, will take a goal any which way it comes.
Yeah, but I think it's what we talked about before about Declan McManus, Mark. I think he allows TNS to do that. I think he's quite comfortable. If you want to knock a ball into him, he's very good. Good body strength. He'll get hold of it for you and bring midfield players into the game. So they can mix the game up now.
fitness of both sides. Obviously, the full-timers will be very fit. He's onside there, McManus. Great tackle. Stevens had to make the tackle. They were 2-on-2 at the back then. That's when you're talking about looking after the ball. When you give it away, they break so quickly that they could be 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. Mendes. Smith. Welcome to the game there from Danny Davis to Kieran Smith.
But good again from Bala though, just disrupting the flow of TNS and just breaking the game up and getting a couple of fouls and slowing the game down. And that's what you've got to do that. Colin will be delighted with that. Being able to disrupt the flow when the free kicks break the time up is what they want.
Some revival at Aberystwyth of late, and I'm sure the manager and Munster will be given soon. Corbacero may be even involved in that as that comes across. Headed back in by Shannon, hooked away by Astles, a big man. So often in the right place, Astles. McManus glides away. McManus, did he take it on? McManus. Ramsey just gets enough on it to stop it. Was back in play though. Williams. Ramsey with another great save. The second one was definitely a better save than the first one. Chance, third chance. It's not a save this time though. Ben Clark opens the scoring for TNS. Third effort in the space of about 10 seconds. And it was third time lucky. The league leaders take the lead. It's Ben Clark goal. It's Bala 0. TNS 1.
Yeah, all down to Declan McManus. We just talked about Mark, they knocked the long ball into him on the halfway line. He's used his strength, he's turned, he's gone past a couple of tackles, had a shot, and then the ball's come out, bit of a scramble, bit untidy, and then obviously fell to Ben Clark and he's put it in. But yeah, he does really well here. McManus just drives, evades one tackle and the next, drives at the two centre halves, puts a shot in, hits the back of the TNS player. It comes to then Chris Marriott does really well, keeps the ball alive. They put the ball in the box, and as I say, a little bit scrappy. But Ben Clark, good little run, and then just puts it in the top corner, and it's 1-0 to TNS.
Yeah, for TNS, it ended up third time lucky. I think for Bala, they had about 3 chances to get that ball away from the start of the McManus's run. Was it worth, and I know sometimes you could be debatable, but was Kieran Smith worth a yellow in taking McManus out?
Yeah, look, it's something that you think about. I mean, obviously we're only sort of 15, 16 minutes into the game at that point, and it's a long game to be playing on a yellow card against TNS.
Well, you're the manager there, Chris. I mean, I'm an ex-manager. I want my player taking him out. If it's going to stop a goal,
I'd be worried about, more concerned about the defensive play for the goal really as well. That little bit sloppy. They've had a couple of chances to clear it and not cleared it, and then like we always say, when you play TNS, you get punished.
Ben Clark is making himself a permanent fixture in this team. One of the up-and-coming young players in this Cymru Premier League. Mendes is an uphill struggle now for Bala. Edwards. Rutherford gets it back to Kay. Shannon could triangle the play from Bala. Superb play. It's a great pass. Will Evans. Quickly taken. Caitner won a quick reply. Decent ball in as well. Hudson deals with it well. Just lining up.
This next period is important for Bala, that they stay in the game. But when you're playing TNS, Mark, and you're setting up, and one thing you always talk about is minimising the mistakes you make, minimising the errors, and defensively. And the first goal there, that Bala will be really disappointed with that. They've had a couple of chances to clear it. The way it's got into Ben Clark and the finish as well. It's a poor goal to concede.
Well, for Ben, I think he'll have to admit he didn't catch it right. But if you're going to get anything spinning like that, when it goes in the top corner, that could have gone anywhere. But luckily for Ben Clark, it's gone right in the back of the net, and it's a great start for him.
Yeah, and as well, Bala had a good spell just before the goal mark. They'd forced a couple of corners, they pressed TNS quite high, they'd won the ball back, and things were starting to happen a little bit for them. But that goal will be it's a sickener, really. It's a sickening blow, especially in the manner it's came.
Yeah, as you say, Chris, there are some goals which you can stop from source, and there was 3 or 4 sources then where it could have been stopped. Strong tackle from Edwards on Hudson. Hudson has a bit of afters there. Limbrick not happy with the decision of the referee, but it looked it to me. Smith. Kay. Beautiful evening, Chris. December evening in Maestegid. Superb play from Mendes again. Back post ball. Almost.
Yeah, it's really carried on really in vain from what it was just before the goal, where Bala looking threatening, they're pressing TNS well, they're getting the ball forward, they're getting bodies in and around Dave Edwards, they're getting some good balls in the box. I think that the 2 fullbacks of Bala tonight with TNS playing a diamond, I think Callum Woods and Sean Smith will be important, and they can almost advance up the pitch and put balls in the box.
Yeah, but then they've got to be careful with being left with a 2-on-2. We're surrounded by managers here this evening. Chris Hughes of Newtown, Rhys Griffiths of Penabont that's just gone past with ex-Cardiff City centre-half Lee Jarman, all doing their homework.
Yeah, we've all got nothing better to do on a Friday, Mark. Come out and watch games.
Well,
that's what it's all about, though. You've got to do it.
I've heard that the bank balances of these Welsh Premier managers now, Chris, has gone up, thousands to what they used to be.
Is that why you retired, Mark? You're doing your money, is that right?
Yeah, too much tax, mate. Routledge. Routledge plays it through. McManus is very elusive. He just doesn't stand in our centre forward role. He's on the ball as often as possible. He's a nightmare for centre backs. They're high then. Can they break now? That's the first yellow. He might have got the first goal of the evening, Ben Clark, but he's...
I think that was that foul you were talking about before, Mark, wasn't it? Clever foul. It's one of them, Oliver Shannon just about to go and release Will Evans, and Ben Clark takes the foul, stops the attack.
Clark takes the foul, stops the attack, he takes the yellow. I think if Keenan Smith would have done exactly the same to McManus, that we would still be at 0-0. All ifs and buts, but so close it is.
19.
Smith to Evans. Good battle that. Evans and Danny Davis. Good athletes, the two of them. Williams is rapid, by the way. Ramsey does well. Playing sweeper there, Ramsey.
Yeah, but when you play TNS, like I was talking about before, over the years, seeing them play with 2 up front, it's not something that you see a lot of. But that was the advantage of having 2 up front. You turn the ball over in the middle of the park and they put it in behind you, and all of a sudden you're facing your own goal. And you've got Jordan Williams and Declan McManus who were a real menace, and Anthony Stevens and Alex Ramsey had to be on their toes there to clear that.
Davis. Evans gives the free kick away. The big men, Hudson and Astles, will travel up. Marriott goes across. And it is a very important time in this game. 23 minutes on the clock. A Ben Clark goal gives the league leaders and visitors TNS a 1-0 advantage. And basically, really, Chris, it's the only chance of the game so far, apart from a couple of saves from Ramsey before the goal. Marriott bends it in well. Hudson, back corner Hudson. He's a danger every time he goes up, and with the quality the left back has, Marriott, he's always going to be a danger. It's a simple goal, it's a quality goal, it's Hudson, it's TNS 2-0.
Yeah, we talked about it before at the other end, didn't we? The Bala's set plays, but TNS have done it so many times this year with Astles or Keston Davis, and on this occasion it's playing Hudson. It's a great ball in by Chris Marriott, and he just needs to flick it, and I think he's just got the other side of his Anthony Stevens, and he's just flicked it in. Yeah, it's a good little finish. The ball in does it for him. It's a great ball in, good pace on it, and he's just got to guide it into the bottom corner. But yeah, 2-0 now TNS, but again, shows how important set plays are, Mark.
Well, when you're going to deliver with quality like that of Marriott, then I think you've got to definitely keep a higher line, because Hudson's heads the ball in the end. He's about 6 yards or 7 yards from the goal, and anything on the end of that free kick is going to go in. It was a great header from Hudson, but I think you've just got to get a higher line when somebody with that amount of ability takes them type of free kicks.
Yeah, you do see that now, don't you? In modern trend, where teams will start a little bit high, get out the box and create a space for the goalkeepers to come back. I can't reiterate the ball in. It's a really good ball. It's fed it into an area, and it's one of them where probably Chris Marriott hasn't probably looked to pick out anyone, but he's just put it into an area where it's difficult to defend, and he knows that if you can just get a slight touch on it, like Blaine Hudson did, the ball's going to go towards the goal, and it becomes very difficult then for goalkeepers to save it, because it is, like you said, close range. But maybe something could have been a bit higher. But sometimes especially when the ball's getting whipped in from that angle, it's difficult. And as we say, it's a great ball in, and gives TNS a good cushion now at 2-0.
26 minutes on the clock. I would say the stats, possession stats, would be about 50-50, because Bala have definitely had as much as the ball as TNS. It's just TNS have been clinical in the right area. Hudson.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mark. I think that's the key word, isn't it? Clinical. The first goal is obviously a bit of probably a sloppy one, but they'll punish you. And then the second one is a really good ball in, and we've seen that quite a lot over the years, and Hudson and Astles are a real threat from set plays, and that's the way it's worked out.
They will be playing with confidence now. Your league leaders, 6 or 7 points clear, and it's always usually a very tough match here at Moise Tegid. To be 2-0 up so far, there you are, Chris. I think you've made the that's more than me and Tommy have been in view over the last 10 years, Chris.
Get me off camera quickly.
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done, I tell you. Hudson again with a superb header. Referee having with Will Evans again. I'd like to see Will Evans getting a bit physical, mind, with the big men. He's not letting them have their own way in there, and I would want my player to be giving Hudson or Astles, as much physicality as I don't see a lot wrong with that.
Yeah, it's something when you look at Bala over the years, especially from dead balls, from free kicks and goal kicks, Alex Ramsey will look to put the ball just above it in that sort of right back, right centre half slot for Will Evans. He's got a really good spring, Will, and he's really good in the air, but I think he probably just jumped into Blaine Hudson there.
Yeah, most probably about 5 minutes too late, because Hudson's deft header made it 2-0, and they're just playing with that bit of style now, TNS. A little bit more confidence about their game than there was in the first 15 minutes. And if you said after 20 minutes, Chris, it was an important time in the game, how important is this now before half-time for Colin Caton's team? 15 minutes to half-time. They have to keep it at 2-0 at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've been there loads of times, Mark, in these, when you start off and you've been in the game, that Bala will feel like that, in terms of general play, they've performed okay. They've got the ball to Dave Edwards, they've got the ball forward.
Smith hooks it clear.
They've won a couple of corners, won a couple of set plays, nicked the ball off TNS a little bit, but they're 2-0 down, and as you say, the last thing you want is that it going anymore. So I think that would be the thing. But in terms of Bala, when they've got the ball, there isn't a massive amount wrong. They're trying to play through.
Definitely
trying to get the fullbacks out, as we talked about before. There's loads of space now, you can see, for Callum Woods to step into and force the issue a little bit.
Good first touch again from Edwards. Rutherford. I think what you said, Chris, after about 6 or 7 minutes of the game is when you get the ball against TNS, you must look after it. Don't look for winners all the time. Don't look to rush it. Just settle. I think that's what Bala need to do in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Just settle a bit on the ball. Yeah,
that last passage of play was good there. They got the ball into the fullbacks, played into the forwards.
Shannon. Just seems to be bodies popping up everywhere. Great touch for Shannon. Smith, can he take the shot on? Outside of the right foot. I think I'd have gambled then and just swung the left foot.
But that's come from, starting with Callum Woods, playing the ball into Dave Edwards, little ones around the corner, Paul Rutherford come alive, and that's what happens. If you keep the ball and make that first pass and make that second pass, then you end up on TNS's box and you got a chance at goals. It's good play from Bala.
Yeah. I think Kieran Smith might have been watching Jordan Henderson bend one in the other evening then. Harrison. Woods again. Plenty of time on the ball. Mendes. Beginning of the season, Chris, everybody has their aspirations and their ideas of where they will finish. Bala, obviously, key. They've been in Europe the last 4 or 5 years and they've done brilliantly. It's a tough ask. Tough ask. The way they're going at the moment to say they'll be top 2. Mendes takes a shot on. Great shot, Mendes. Great effort.
Yeah,
the Mendes.
Yeah, more good play. They built the ball through the pitch, built up through the pitch, and ended up again similar to the chance they had a couple of minutes ago with Kieran Smith. They've got Mendes now on the edge of the box and the chance. So, things are starting to happen for Bala a little bit. It's just, those 2 goals that they've conceded all hurt them.
Going back to the top 6, Chris, I think there's 8 games left towards it. Is it everybody? It's most probably TNS and maybe Connors Key apart at the beginning of the season. Top 6 is most probably every manager's first target.
Yeah, of course. I feel like sitting on the fence a little bit with this one, but yeah, it is. I think it's really competitive. You only have to look at the quality in the league this year and the standard in the league, and it's tough. Everyone uses that top 6 as that yardstick, if you like, to try and get in it. But it's tougher. Obviously, last year, we didn't make it into the top 6. In fact, we were probably nowhere near it into the top 6. But managed then in the second phase to have a little bit of a run, and the way the playoff system works, we benefited from it. But
absolutely, and went into Europe once again. The strength of the league, I think, at present shows you that the 11th place team, Cardiff Met, made the cup final last weekend. So on their day, the likes of the Met in 11th position and Aberystwyth, as they proved when they were 11th a couple of weeks ago, they defeated the league leaders TNS. On the day, anybody could beat anybody in this league.
Yeah, look, and just kind of reinforces the point we've just been making there about, although you said there's 8 games to go, but every team's got 8 really, really tough games, and everyone's going to be maybe looking at that sort of top 6 spot. But it's going to be difficult, very difficult. But look, this is a corner from TNS here now, and it's really important that Bala defend this properly.
I think we've got to be at the game sometimes to see the height advantage that Astles and Hudson have, and it's there again straight away. Brobble. Ramsey punches clear. I think somebody's gone down off the ball. The referee's blown the whistle there.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan Astles there. I think it was a bit of a melee at the back post there from the first ball in, where Hudson managed to head that back across Mark. Bit of a coming together with a few people, I think. But yeah, as you say, certainly TNS, probably in the last couple of years with adding Ryan Astles and Blaine Hudson are certainly a real threat at set plays, and you only have to see. I think they've scored a couple against us this year. It's they're difficult because when you try and pin them or block them, but they're big, strong boys, and it's very, very difficult to do that. And they get free, and they are a huge threat from them.
They are a threat, a massive threat. Bala, of course, set the record books alight by winning 17-1 here a few weeks earlier on, Chris, a few months earlier on against Brimble. So, being as you're on tonight as a guest, I will give you the chance to tell me what was the biggest Welsh Cup win. Bala's was second. What was the biggest ever Welsh Cup win? It's quite an easy question. I'll give you my... Oh, just wide of the target there. Edwards with a great effort, just drifted wide.
Yeah, again, they certainly had efforts, Mark. I'll come back to your question in a minute, but they've certainly had efforts, and look, again, keeping the ball alive. Oliver Shannon just fell to Dave Edwards, who's just trying to steer it.
Oh, that is just
trying to steer it in that top corner there, and a little bit unlucky. Zero back lift, but great effort.
They're in the game. They're still in the game, and that would have made a hell of a difference had Edwards found the net then. So quickly, the 17-1 as another free kick is given against Will Evans. I think he has to go in the book this time. That's his third time. He asks the referee why. Just a collision, I think, of high feet in almost exactly the same spot as Marriott set the last goal up as well.
Yeah, but you see the importance of the front two, playing with front two. So Jordan Williams is the first one in. He pins Stevens, makes them both miss it, and then once the ball's in behind, it's difficult then because the ball's bouncing. Declan Manus gets a little touch, and then Will Evans brings him down. And now, again, carbon copy of the second goal here. Chris Marriott standing over it. The big boys are in the box. It's another threat for TNS.
Hudson's on the back again. Marriott with exactly the same kick, headed just wide this time. I think it's McManus with the header. Marriott's ability to deliver that flat free kick, deadly around the area. McManus a little bit disappointed he hasn't found the target there.
Yeah, look, tried and tested. Chris over the years, he's done it for many years with that type of ball, that flat in swinger. It makes it very difficult to defend, and as we said, seen with the second goal, it just needs a touch. And it's in the back of the net. I'm sure Alex Ramsey's heart might have been in his mouth a little bit there, but it went wide of the post.
Yeah, you see the likes of Chilwell doing that every week for Chelsea, but there's plenty of ability in this league. The likes of Kane, Owen and Marriott on dead balls. They are, the lad Williams at your club for year after year, Craig Williams, plenty of ability on dead balls.
We obviously Craig over the years, as you mentioned there, there's a couple in the league, and it's a big part of the game. Without repeating what I keep saying, it's a big part of the game, and you've got to defend them, and you've got to defend them well, because teams come up with different types now, little quirky ones. Again, look, you see there, William Runner, Declan McManus. Yeah, he's chased things all night.
It's great when your star player, or one of your star players, is prepared to chase anything down. That's a key point. There's no airs or graces about McManus by the look of it. He's chasing everything down. Always great to see Williams with the first touch then. Anthony Stevens runs it out of play. Yeah, we probably haven't seen a great deal of the link-up between Williams and McManus tonight. He tried a little bit there with a little set, and it just went out of play. But I'm sure that'll be something Anthony will be looking at, in terms of the front two, their work rate, and is very high at the moment. And when the ball does come in, they're causing problems. But just maybe get hold of it a little bit and play between themselves. What a flick that was from Brobble. The season after season, every football club talks about how important it is. Christmas periods, December fixtures, and just in the big European leagues, the Cymru Premier is very important in December. Coming back offside.
Yeah, it feels like we've I think probably had the last 4 weeks. We've probably only played a couple of games. Obviously, we had the break with the internationals, and last weekend it was the 4 teams played. Obviously, we're in the semi-finals, but we had a break at Newtown. So now you're looking at sort of a 5-game period in December, which will ultimately have a big say in what your season holds for after that period. So it's one we're looking forward to. You always look forward to playing over Christmas.
Rutherford hasn't been able to get on the ball, Rutherford, and get a run at Marriott. Most probably the same can be said about Will Evans, not being able to really get a run at Danny Davis. Great ball from Stevens, just might have a little bit too much on it. I think Astles will run that one out. But yet again, it's key that Bala at least get to half-time with 2-0. There's Caton. They've settled since the second goal.
Yeah, certainly set the stall out, especially from goal kicks, and they pressed really high and done it quite well, and they made sort of Paul Harrison kick the ball in the air. And once the ball goes in the air, you've obviously lost possession, and Bala been able to retrieve the ball in this middle third here, whether it's from a throw or a free kick, but they've certainly pressed quite well from goal kicks.
Limbrick's first game in charge at TNS was a 1-0 victory against Bala. He's gone on since to have 25 games at present, or 24 before this one. 118, drawn 4 and lost 2. Another foul there given against Bala.
Yeah, I was waiting for contact there, McManus, wasn't he? Just waiting for it, and ended up getting the foul.
How hungry, Chris? Every player is hungry for a title, obviously. How hungry is the TNS club? Is their players after Connors Key's 2 title wins? Will they be even more determined to get that title back?
Well, I think so. I think that's all the noise is coming out of them, the camp, isn't it? That they've lost the title 2 years on the bounce.
Redmond. Chance here. Oh, what a run that is, Clark. Great save from Ramsey. Just getting through that middle two a little bit too often now. Superb run from midfield, by the way, again from Ben Clark.
Yeah, good save though. Great save, important save as well. Really important save.
4 against 4 now. Mendes. Great ball across, just too close to Harrison. It's Dave Edwards again trying to get across the front of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was end-to-end, really good chance down at TNS's end there. Good save, like I said, from Alex Ramsey, and then Will Evans just flashes one across the face there, and Dave Edwards was nearly close to getting the touch.
Yeah, how vital would that have been, by the way? That would have been 3-0 on the 40-minute mark. Offside given against Jordan Williams. But in a game which has ebbed and flowed end-to-end, it's TNS at present with a 2-goal lead. Ben Clark and Blaine Hudson, the goal scorers. Chris Marriott bumps up his assists with that second assist to 7 of the season.
Yeah, he's been doing it year in, year out, hasn't he, Mark, to be fair to him over the years. Goals for Bala last season. Chris Venables had 24, Will Evans had 13. That's 27 between 2 players. That is the type of totals which get you into Europe, Chris. As simple as that. Yeah, of course, yeah. Obviously, Chris's goals have been, integral to Bala over the years, haven't they? You talk about Chris Marriott's assists. They're important to TNS, but Chris Venables' goal are important to Bala over the years, certainly.
And he's been a massive miss for them since being suspended for the second time. Kieran Smith, foul against Smith.
Yeah, he's been competitive in there.
Yeah, they have been competitive.
Yeah, definitely. You have to be as well in there against TNS, because if you don't, they'll just pass it round you and cause you real problems. But
there's that one again. McManus drags the centre half. Oh, he's through all the way again. Clarkey travels. Great save, Ramsey, from Jordan Williams. Flag up for offside, but again, it's a superb save from Ramsey. Clark is just driving through the middle. He has to be picked up and singled out. Because that's happened about 3 or 4 times now, Chris, in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, Declan McManus, really sharp, really bright mark. Just comes off the centre-back, comes into the hole, and then when he comes in, Ben Clark takes the space from him. Good play from TNS.
Good pace as well from Clark. Didn't realise he was as quick as that. Smith. Caton now. Caton would love a goal now. 2 or 3 minutes to half time. Astles. Hudson. Astles guides it back to the goalkeeper. I think he'll have to play it. Harrison. Yeah, Woods gets the free kick. Surely you have to settle this down now and push people in. No, Kay looks for Evans, wasn't ready. Simply wasn't ready for the free kick. I think they would have been better off then, like I said earlier on, settling down a bit, then filling the box up with bodies.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. It's obviously a dead ball, and you reset. Anthony decided obviously he was going to take it a little bit quickly. Maybe he thought that catch TNS unawares.
Yeah, I think the quicker the game is, Chris, and the more end-to-end it is, it's obviously going to suit the league leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about that before. You know, any disruption in play, you know, free kicks, you know, anything that when the game goes out, that's where it's important. You get your breath, you get your rest, and you go again.
Mendes drives into the area, gets it back. Great ball in. Oh, wonderful ball in from Woods. Will Evans just doesn't get there.
Yeah, good play from Mendes, making that forward run. Good little setback, and then, you know, lovely little cross from Callum Woods, and Will Evans just couldn't get there. I think it was Will Evans at the back post, just couldn't get there.
Yeah, again, if you're looking at that, Mendes makes a great and wonderful ball in from Woods. Just most probably a diving header with a bit more of an angle on there, Evans. But just wide of the mark, that would have brought the Lakesiders right back into the game before half-time. I think Blaine Hudson's struggling a bit, you know. He's pulled up onto the time on the far side. It might be interesting to see whether he comes out for the second half. 2-0, but the game's not over, definitely. They've showed enough enterprise in this game, Bala, not to throw any sort of towel in. Still going forward, still creating chances. And it's nice to see. Smith. Edwards gets a flick. Chance here from Woods. Does he take the shot on Woods? Great block. 2 chances in the last minute for Bala.
Yeah, good play again. I think it looked like this. Did someone take it off Oliver Shannon? I think he was coming in, behind there, the header, and then great defending at the back post from Ryan Astles. You know, that's what you've got to do. You know, and again, another chance for Bala.
Corner. Headed away by Hudson. Lee Evans blows for the free kick. Well, Chris, first 45 minutes over. It's been an end-to-end game, entertaining game. Not so entertaining, obviously, for the Bala faithful here, but they haven't been steamrolled in the first half.
No, certainly. You know, I think you'd be pleased with certain elements of the game. You know, they pressed high. They've made Paul Harrison kick it off goal kicks. They've then won that first contact, but you know, I think that the first goal is a real disappointment the manner it's been conceded.
Well, it's 2-0 to the league leaders at half-time. It's Ben Clark and the big man Blaine Hudson giving them a 2-0 advantage at half-time. We look forward to seeing you in the second half.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, croeso nôl ato ni am hanner cynta i'r pencampwyr. Wel, y cyn pencampwyr, maen nhw'n gyda fi y Seintiau Newydd yn mwynhau honna. Owain Tyler Jones wedi camu lawr i ymuno gyda fi o'r pwynt sylwebu beth amdani. Owain, oedd hi'n dipyn o berfformiad gan Seintiau.
Oedd da iawn, chwarae teg. Mae ddigon hawdd beirniadu Bala. Oedd nhw ddigon da o bosib. Mae'r Seintiau wedi chwarae'n dda iawn. Dwi'n meddwl mae symudiad nhw oddi ar y bel wedi bod yn gampus. A Bala neu unrhyw glwb arall, so nhw wedi stryglo i aros efo nhw. Felly mae yna lot o waith dal i wneud, ond oedden ni'n gweld efo un cyfle eiraidd gath Dave Edwards, sa honna di mynd i fewn, maen nhw dal ynddi. Os allan nhw fod y tîm sydd yn cael y gol nesa, pwy o wyr bell i ddigwydd yn y gêm. Ond mae rhaid cadw disgyblaeth, gwneud siŵr bod nhw'n cadw 11 ar y cae.
Ond maen nhw'n edrych ar eich bwyntio'r hanner cyntaf na. Mae Bala, pam chi'n chwarae efo'n y Seintiau, chi eisiau cael rhywfaint o reolaeth o'r gêm, ond am ni, o dachrau, nhw oedd ar y droed flaen.
Mi oedd nhw, ond cyn y gol yma, mi oedd hi'n eitha agored, oherwydd oedd y Bala wedi cael cwpl o gyfleoedd ei hunan, ond amrediad gan McManus i ddechrau. A wedyn, arbediad da gan Ramsey, mae'r bel yn aros yn fyw, ond y Seintiau Newydd ydy'r tîm sydd wastad isio cyrraedd y bel gyntaf. Nhw ydy'r tîm sydd yn ennill yr ail bel. Mae yna dipyn o ffraid i bod yn ystod yr hanner cyntaf, dol. Mae Malks a Nick yn y pwynt sylwebu yn meddwl bod Ben Clark di trio hon.
O'n i'n clywed chi'n dadle?
Rwan, yn amlwg mae o'n trio sgorio. Ond dwi'n meddwl mae just trio cael rhywbeth arni. Diolch di mynd efo tu allan i droed i fynd tuag at y gornel uchaf fanna. Just ceisio ymestyn, ceisio cael rhywbeth arni a sgorio. A sbio be mae'n olygu i'r dyn yma, Anthony Limbrick, wrth i fod, a mi oedden nhw'n heiddi bod ar y blaen.
Mae'n anodd penderfynu. Dim ond fe fydd yn gwybod yn iawn, ond dwi ddim yn mynd i ddweud bod e ddim yn mynd amdani.
Na, ond os mae'n dod lawr i ffeit rhwng fi a Malcolm Anik, dwi'n teimlo'n eitha hyderus allai gymryd y ddau yn yno.
Dyma fe, mae'n man i weld yr ail gol wedyn ni. Ben Clark wedi bod yn amlwg, Hudson wedi bod yn amlwg tymor yma hefyd. Beth oedd o'i le fan hyn o ran y Bala?
Ie, wel, Will Evans, doedd o'n teimlo fod yn gic rydd yn y lle cynta. Mae wedi bod yn anffodus gêm gynta nôl chydig bach oddi ar cyflymder y gêm. A Hudson, diolch yn gorau neidio, mae'n hawdd deud, Hudson, cawr o ddyn, faint ydi o, 6 troedfedd, 6 modfedd o bosib. Bron mae'n gorau gwiro lawr yma yma. Felly, mae yna broblem os mae hynna'n landio ar ei ben o, yng nghanol yr amddiffynwyr na gyd. Pam mae fod i'r dyn sy'n cael ei ben ar y bêl. Fydd hynna'n hynod siomedig i Caton. Mae'n un peth i gael eich symud o gwmpas y cae efo symudiad campus y Seintiau Newydd. Mae'n rhywbeth ar y hildio o gic gosod, fydd o'n siomedig iawn.
Maen nhw wedi bod yn gwneud hynny tymor yma, serch hynny, y Seintiau, yn sgorio o gic gosod, cic cornel hefyd. Maen nhw'n sgorio ambell i gol scrappy hefyd, ni'n gweld ochr arall i'w gêm nhw.
Ie, da ni wastad yn meddwl am y Seintiau Newydd, am y tîm yma sy'n sgorio goliau agored, symudiadau campus a cadw'r meddiant tan bod yr agoriad na'n dod. Ond dwi'n meddwl be maen nhw wedi sylwi yn y 2 flynedd dwytha yn gweld Cey Conan ennill y gyngrair, yn y ffordd maen nhw wedi ennill chi, bod rhaid iddyn nhw wella, oherwydd mae cic gosod yn gallu ennill cyngrair i chi, o ran pwysigrwydd y goliau. Ac mae Anthony Limbrick wedi gwneud swydd dda, ond mae Gary Brabin wedi dod yn ôl i fewn i'r clwb, a dwi'n meddwl oedd o'n ddyn calad. Dwi'n cofio chwarae ni erbyn o. Dyn calad sydd yn parchu ac yn gwybod pwysigrwydd y cic gosod yma.
Ie, wel mae fe'n gweithio. Dim amheuaeth am hynny. Ni'n trafod goliau. Ni'n mynd i edrych ar y goliau gorau o fis Tachwedd nesaf. So'n amser dewis gol y mis.
Yn disgyn i Mwandwe. Mae'n cymorth. Mae'n troi Buckley ar y fel Cwrt Cosby. Cael ei faglu. Rushton yn crymanu'r bêl y gelfydd i gefn yr Hwyd. Dim gobaith unwaith eto i'r golwr. Trydydd gol o'r tymor i Rushton.
Harrington yn galw amdani, yn ei derbyn i, ac ymedro bell! Bobl bach am gol! Mae'n 2-0, a mae Harrington bron di torri'r Rhwyd.
Davies! O! Dyna chi gol gampus gan Mael Davies i gol gyntaf o'r tymor yn yr uwch gyngrair. O dyna chi gol i ysbrydoli tîm.
Nwan Dwe. Mae draed y mor gyflym allan i Rushton. Rushton yr ergyd! O, Nick Rushton yn dod ar Newydd yn gyfartal eto mewn steil. Mae yna chwarter awr o'r gêm ar ôl. Mae hwn yn chwip o ail hanner. Oedd hon yn chwip o gol.
Danny Holmes. Creisio di'r canol unwaith eto at Ydli ar foli i'r gefn yr Hwyd! Neil Ydli, gol gynta i Cey Conan. I gol gynta yn uwch gyngrair Cymru, JD.
Pontypridd yn ymosod eto, dyma Davies, nithyn hi'n ôl, Olivia Barnett ar cynnig o di allan y cwrt, am gol gan Barnett i ail o'r pnawn. Mae di gosod honna i'r gornel ucha, gwych.
Jack Wilson yn ennill tîl dros hanner ffordd, parhau i fynd ond yn rhedeg mewn i Noah Edwards a chyfle fan hyn i Gaernarfon. Edwards parhau i fynd bydd yn col Cosby a mae mewn a Noah Edwards sy'n rhoi Caernarfon yn heiddiannol ar y blaen. Cyfle ar ôl cyfle i'r Cofis yn yr hanner awr cynta yma a Noah Edwards sy'n rhwydo i gol gynta o'r tymor.
Unwaith eto, dewis gwych o ran gol y mis. Dim ni sy'n dewis y tro yma, Sioned Dafydd sydd yn mwy i ni.
Diolch Del, Mark Jones sy'n cadw cwmni fi, and Mark, you get the very important job of choosing the goal of the month for November. Who gets it and why?
Well, it was a very superb goals this month, a very hard job to do. Some great goals, Noel Edwards, Olivia Barnett, some fantastic goals, but the winner for me was an unstoppable goal. It was Miles Davis. The quality on the goal was unbelievable, Sioned, and it's definitely a fantastic goal of the month.
We were talking before the game and you said not many keepers in the Premier League would be able to save that shot.
Absolutely. It was it was a tight contest, so I had to look at every goal. But the pace that he hit that ball into the top corner and a little touch just before he takes the shot on is Premier League quality. And like I said, that's the reason why I give it to him. It was simply unstoppable. What a goal.
And what a player as well, Miles Davis. You know, he certainly has made his mark at this Pen-y-bont side.
Well, I think that, the two fullbacks at Pen-y-bont are playing really well. Miles Davis, Kane Owen, and there's plenty of players in this league I'm sure could step up into the Football League again. And Miles Davis, if he keeps scoring goals like that, he may not be in this league for much longer.
Well, Mark, I better let you go because you're on the red button doing the English language commentary with Chris Hughes. But Mark, thank you very much. A llongyfarchiadau I Miles Davis. Enillydd gol y mis, nôl at y Tidal.
Diolch Sioned, a diolch yn fawr iawn I Mark Jones. Cytuno'r dewis o ran y gol na?
Cytuno. Honna oedd y gol orau, a mergyd gan Miles Davis, chwarae teg iddo.
Beth am Miles Davis? Mae fi'n ochreuwyr, mae fe'n taro'r bil mor lan. Os da fe'n gallu fynd yn uwch na'r gyngor yma? Dim byd yn erbyn y gyngor yma?
Na, ddim byd yn erbyn y gyngor o gwbl. A pwy awyr yn amlwg dechrau fe Abertawe yn ifanc ddim yn gweithio allan am un rheswm neu'r llall. A ti angen chydig bach o look I wneud ti'n y gêm broffesiynol hefyd. Efallai fod o'n teimlo fod o heb gael hynna. Ond dal I sgorio gols fel fe na rhywun yn gwylio.
Dyna ni, llongyfarchiadau felly I Miles Davis. Neu Miles Davis, fel nath Mark Jones gael. Dwi'n offi hwnna, dyna'r trumpet iddo fe ar gyfer y gêm nesaf. Ewn ni nôl at Sioned, achos wrth ochr Mark Jones ar y bottom coch heno. Mae rheolwr y Dre Newydd, Chris Hughes.
Diolch, Del. Chris, give me your thoughts on that first half. TNS 2-0 up, but we've seen at times just how dangerous Bala can be on the attack.
Yeah, it's been a good game. I think, the first goal's a really unfortunate one for Bala, but the second goal's a great ball and a good header, but there's enough in the game here. Bala have had some good chances, especially when they've got the ball to Dave Edwards and got runners off him. So no, look, I think the message will be at half time if you can get that first goal, in the first 5 or 10 minutes and see where the game goes from there. But as well as important as that, you've got to stay in the game against TNS because they are very good and they can hurt you, as we found out to our cost 2 weeks ago.
We'll talk a bit about the second half coming up in a bit, but in terms of Newtown, what are your thoughts on kind of where you guys are at in the season? You're third in the league and it feels like you're reaching quite a pivotal point.
Yeah, it is. I think there's 8 games to go to the split now. 5 of those are in December, so it's a real big month, and one we're looking forward to. We've had a bit of a rest. I think we've had sort of 2 games in 4 weeks now, or 3.5 weeks. So, we're looking forward to tomorrow. We're going to be a tough game. We say it every week. Obviously, Barry will be another tough side. We always have tough games against them. So we're looking forward to that. And then, the busy period coming up, obviously the Christmas period, which is always good and one we look forward to. But, we just start with tomorrow and take tomorrow and then move on from there.
And I guess you look at the table, is this what your players deserve for all the hard work that they put in, not just this season, but the second half of last season as well?
Yeah, look, I think that the first half of last season was obviously very difficult. We probably got caught out a little bit into reduced pre-season, but certainly the players came back after lockdown in a sort of a real good spirit, and we kicked on from there. But we start the season well, but that's all it is. It's a start. We've I don't think we're even halfway through the season yet, so we've got to keep going. And boring answer, I know, but no, that's what we've got to do.
They're never boring answers, Chris. Just looking ahead to the second half, you mentioned what the message will be. Can Bala get back into this?
Yeah, look, listen, when you play TNS, one thing you've got to have is belief. And I think what Bala have done well is when they've turned the ball over, they've looked after it and they've taken care of that first pass and got into the last third. And then it's just about your quality. They put some good balls in the box, so if they can carry that vein off, but they have to keep that back door shut, because with the quality that TNS have got in the forward positions, they will cause you problems.
Chris, thank you for your time. Pob luck against Barry tomorrow. I'll let you go because the rain is starting, so go and keep warm.
Thank you very much, thanks.
Diolch.
Diolch yn iawn i Sioned a Chris Hughes. Mae yna gêm arall heno ac ar goeden y parc. Mae Ceicona ar y blaen o gol i ddim. Mendes sy'n ei chalu. Dyn nhw'n wedi colli y sydref Ceicona. Owain, pan oedd Andy Morrison yn gweud fe nhw fydd yn ail, oedd pawb yn chwerthin bach.
O'n i'n cytuno fo. Swn i byth yn anghytuno fo. Mae rai fi ddeud, ddim i wyna bo byth bynnag. Ond dwi'n meddwl, o gynno broblema, o'na anafiadau, rheolwr yn gadael. Mae'n rhywbeth i clicio eto rwan, a dwi'n meddwl nhw'n orffen yn ail, a nhw'n orffen yn ail yn eitha cyffyrddus hefyd, oherwydd maen nhw yn mynd o nerth i nerth, a maen nhw'n dechrau profi pwynt o bosib bod nhw'n well na nath nhw ddangos ar ddechrau'r tymor.
Ia, diddorol. Ceicona ar y blaen yn Aberystwyth, felly cofiwch lot mwy i ddod o ran sgorio. Cofiwch amdano ni, mae'n anodd anwybyddu ni bobman. Dydy mae'r gyfannau cymdeithasol ar eich afwyntiau hefyd. Hanner oed i 5 bob di llun yn cael ei ail ddangos hefyd am 10 o'r gloch yn newyddion hefyd am 10 o'r gloch ar nos lun hefyd. Ond fan hyn nawr, yr ail hanner, dwi'n eisiau bod yn ystradebol, ond dwi'n mynd i fod yn ystradebol. Oedd Chris Hughes yn crybwyll, mae'r gol nesaf yn gallu newid pethau. Ai dyna'r gobeith i'r Bala?
Does ddim rhaid cymlethu pethau a dod i fyny efo unrhyw beth anhygol yn dactegol. Y gol nesaf ydy'r peth pwysig yn y gêm yma. Os allai Bala i chalu, maen nhw'n nôl yn y gêm. Ac o bosib, allan nhw fynd am... Mae'r Seintiau'n llawn hyder, ond jyst i testio nhw, i profi nhw mewn un ffordd wahanol, oherwydd ar hyn o bryd, maen nhw'n edrych yn well tîm, maen nhw'n edrych mor gry. Nhw ydy'r mwy tebygol i gael y gol nesaf, ond pwy a wyr, os allith Bala o rwla chael.
A byddai colli heno ddim yn sioc, ond efo'n diwedd y penwythnos, fe allan Bala fod allan o'r 6 ucha, achos mae fod agos yw i, ond byddai hynny'n sioc.
Bysa, ond rhywbeth tebyg i Ceicona, mi nawn nhw gryfhau, mi nawn nhw ddod allan o'r hediad gwael yma, ond yn amlwg, os da ni'n ei beirniadu nhw fel tîm ddylia gwffio am Ewrop a gwffio am y gyngred, maen nhw ar ei hôl i o bellffordd. Ond na, dwi'n meddwl, mi wneith i tymor nhw wella, jyst ddim heno.
Dyna ni, Owain, ddim yn credu bydd ffordd yn ôl, wrth iddyn nhw gamu yn ôl i'r cae ar gyfer yr ail hanner. Ewn ni yn ôl at y tîmau sylwebu. Dylen ni weid, cofiwch, os chi'n gwylio ar clic, mae yna opsiwn Cymraeg a Saesneg o ran sylwebeth. If you're watching on YouTube, hope you're enjoying what you've seen so far. Mark Jones and Chris Hughes waiting for you there. Ac ar Facebook. Nôl â ni unwaith eto at Malcolm Allen a Nick Parry.
Diolch hogie.
Welcome back to Maes Tegid, where the league leaders TNS are currently 2-0 ahead against Bala Town. Goal from Ben Clark and the big centre-back Blaine Hudson, giving TNS a comfortable 2-0 lead at present. Chris, anything Bala can do in the next 45 minutes to gain anything from this game?
I think that obviously this initial period now, Mark, is really important to them. Even if it stays 2-0, that's fine. You take that because you can build into the last 15-20 minutes as the half wears on. But certainly, you'd expect TNS to come out and try and gain dominance and pass the ball. Bala can start pretty much where they've been most of the half, really. Good tempo to the play, creating chances. Then that'll be the aim, I'm sure. But it's going to be difficult because especially when you chase TNS, when you come out and open up, they've got the quality to pick you off.
A couple of great chances just before half-time for Bala, which would have made all the difference, putting them back in. But we often talk about the next goal in games, Chris, but I think this time it really is, the next goal is key in this game. TNS to get it 3-0. It looks curtains for Bala. Bala to get the goal, and we might have a great game on, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think you're right, Mark. You know, the next goal is it, but you know, if Bala don't get one in the next 10-15 minutes, it's not the end of the world. But it's important that TNS don't get one.
They have to stay in the game. Sean Smith. No changes at half-time. We thought Blaine Hudson, who's just in front of us, may have been struggling, but he looks like he's okay. Redmond.
Yeah, real class act for TNS, Danny Redmond. I've been really impressed with him, Mark, since he's come into the league. Oh, another great pass. Oh, good save. Great pick out again by Danny Redmond, right on cue. And then Declan McManus just found himself free in the box, and it's a decent save by Alex Ramsey.
It's a decent save from Ramsey, and it was key. We're talking about the next goal. Great flick, good save from Ramsey. Had to make it. And McManus keen to get back on the goal scoring chart. Scored 19 goals in 21 games since joining. Great record. Smith. Marriott again looking to add to his assist table. Hudson.
Yeah, good defending by Bala. It looked like then Blaine Hudson was going to head that in for his second in the evening, but it was a decent header. And then, look, we've just seen the chance there. You know, Danny Redmond's got real quality. If you're going to give him time on the ball in that sort of midfield area, you know, he will pick people out, and he picks Declan McManus out. And as I said, decent save by Alex Ramsey.
Well, the rain has arrived at Maesteg. The game was quick in the first period. It'll definitely, on this surface, increase the pace of the game.
Give him back. Give him back.
Harrison clips one forward. That's the movement again of McManus. He's a pain to centre backs. He doesn't stay in a one position. He doesn't force his centre half backwards. He drags them all over the place. Greg Draper did that for the first few years when he was at TNS. He was excellent at that. So it's obviously one of their policies there. There's Rhys Griffiths and Lee Jarman there. I think that's Chris Venables alongside him. Few goals in there. Usually they've scored against you, son.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, definitely the two of them. Yeah, two of them. But you know, just going back to that, Mark, there, you talked about, you know, Declan McManus and being able to play into him. You know, it's a you know, part of the game. You know, if you're going to press TNS high now with Paul Harrison's quality from that, then you can drop it into Declan McManus and then get out.
Well, I just think Danny Redmond showed you about Harrison's quality there, just clipping him a pass in, and Harrison dealt with it. His final ball wasn't great, but
yeah,
still the best football in this league.
Unlike him actually there to make that kick the ball straight out of play.
Edwards
gives Bala a chance to build something.
Smith. Sean Smith looking for the inside pass to Oliver Shannon. Kieran Smith. Stevens, yeah, and just as you said, they just have to stay in the game up until 70 minutes, even at 2-0. Stevens. Will Evans rattles one into Sean Smith, and Anthony Stevens sends one down the line. Onside Evans, can he take the volley? Gets the header across. Shannon.
Come on, clearance.
More difficult volley. Shannon takes on, and it goes wide of the target.
Yeah, it was just a ball helped back into the channel by Anthony Stevens, but you know, Will Evans got his body in and put it across, and then the ball came out to Ollie Shannon. He's done that quite well, Ollie Shannon. He's supported the plays, in particular, you know, Dave Edwards. We talked about before, Mark, you know, Las Mendes and Ollie Shannon just getting up in support of Dave Edwards, because it can be difficult when you play up front and you're own against TNS, because you know the support can be really deep. So you know, they've done that really well, the two of them.
Anthony Limbrick.
Yeah, he'll be happy, Anthony, won't he? He'll be happy with this. You know, coming here, it's a tough place to come.
The tough game, the first game of the season, by the way. It was only 2 late goals by Ryan Brobble, which gave the TNS the home win against them. There was a period when Bala could not get anything at all from TNS. I think it lasted about 24 games, you know, in the space of about 4 or 5 years. But they're competitive now.
Council's on.
Routledge, Williams, Routledge, McManus gets a shot off, just wide of the target. Wanted the corner, and we can hear the players demanding the corner from Lee Evans, but he's not being budged. Surprised how Jordan Williams didn't shift that onto his left foot in the Mo Salah position there for Williams.
Yeah, it's again, you know, little bit of craft there from John Routledge. You know,
corner by the way.
Yeah, look the corner. A little bit of craft from John Routledge there, where people would be maybe, you know, having a shot or slashing at that. It just takes a touch and just finds Declan McManus, and it was unlucky.
Chance at the other end. Danny Davis. It's 2-on-2. Important first header. Stevens does well. Sean Smith.
Yeah, that'll be one that, you know, as Bala do start to chase the game a little bit, you know, the two fullbacks from Bala will have to become a bit more advanced, and that will lead the 2v2 break. We've just seen it then, and Anthony Stevens dealt with it really well, and Sean Smith was able to tidy up. But you know, as the game gets a little bit more stretched, then that might be something for TNS on the counter attack.
Yeah, looking at the midfield there, you have Keenan Smith as the holder, and Shannon, and Mendes is most probably the runner in there. Just need them to link a bit tighter to the front three and try and create something. You know, quality cross across the front of the box, or stand up a decent cross for Edwards. Again, now Harrison will be in no rush. Chris, you've seen this all before.
Yeah, he wants you to come and press him. He wants you to come and press him, because he almost laughs at you when you go and press him, because he'll just play it around you. That's how good he is with the ball. You know, they want that.
Mendes, Edwards, decent ball in. Rutherford will stand this one up. Evans! Oh, great effort. Superb effort. Unfortunately for Will Evans, Paul Harrison was in a good position to get a hand on it, but it was a superb effort from Will Evans.
Yeah, good play by Bala, good play down the right hand side, and a great effort by Will there. And
yeah, most probably should be giving more credit to the goalkeeper, because that was hit well.
Yeah,
tremendous save from Harrison.
Yeah, good acrobatics from Will, and then you know, a decent save by Paul Harrison.
When you're playing top of the league sides, them overhead specials have to go in, Chris.
Yeah,
change the game.
I'm expecting my goalkeeper to save it though, Mark. I think you know, it wasn't right in the corner. I'm expecting him to save that, but you know, look, good again.
Good enterprise from Bala.
Yeah, good again. They got down the sides, putting good balls in the box. Like we said before, you know, the two wide areas are important, because with TNS playing a diamond, obviously the Bala fullbacks are the spare players.
But Bala are not playing like a team who've won only one of their last 7 league games, Chris. But unfortunately, the table and the results don't lie, and if they don't get anything from this, it'll be 1 in 8 games. Chance here, go forward, shot off Brobble, collected by Ramsey at the second attempt. Game is opening up once again. 54 minutes on the clock. Bala 0, TNS 2.
Yeah, normally, you know, when you get Ryan Brobble in those sort of areas, in Declan McManus as well, again, you get him in that area, you're expecting the net to bulge and just to bend it in the bottom corner.
Evans, that has been the out ball which you talked about earlier on. Will Evans from Ramsey. Rutherford. Seen plenty enough of the ball in the first 10 minutes of the second period, Bala.
Yeah, it's been a good start. Yeah, we talked about that before, you know, how important it is, but yeah, it's been a good start. They've forced a couple of chances.
Edwards.
You know, TNS will always have that threat and the break, and I think this will suit them. You know, with the two up top.
Lee Evans. David Edwards wanted a free kick, not given to him by Evans. Jordan Williams. Good tracking by Keenan Smith. Has a word with Williams about going over. Smith. If they could get a goal now, Bala, they'd be right back in this. Yeah, I don't think that's the ball from Sean Smith to Will Evans. He's never going to run Danny Davis over the top.
Yeah, he probably wanted that to feet, Will. He'd taken Danny Davis away, needed to check and probably come and get his feet, and then, you know, give a platform for Sean Smith to build off. But, you know, it's positive from Bala. It's a good start.
Some bumper games this weekend, as we said. Aber from Connors Quay. Penabon, Carnarvon. There's a big one at Latham Park tomorrow. Looking forward to it, Chris?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we've prepared well. We look forward to it. It's going to be a tough game. Newtown Barry are always tough games.
One ball, almost Mendes, almost from Ramsey. Any way will do at the moment for Colin Caton's team. They just need a goal to get back into this. Definitely gone 2-on-2 at the back, and that's a brave way of trying to get back into the game, because Anthony Stevens and Anthony Kay are just 2-on-2 against Jordan Williams and Declan McManus. Obviously, it's dangerous, but obviously Caton chose his way to get back into the game and try and overload the midfield.
Yeah,
pushing the fullbacks on.
Yeah, it is, and if they're happy with it, they can get their two fullbacks on, because then what that'll do then is that'll drag Danny Redmond and Ben Clark out from their midfield shape, and then that opens up other spaces for the likes of Shannon, Mendes, and balls into Dave Edwards' feet.
I would be more inclined myself to try and get Will Evans a bit narrower and play alongside David Edwards almost. The only danger in that, or you free up at Danny Davis and get him forward. Redmond. Yeah. Superb layoff from Brobble. Brobble threads one through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, they're trying to overload Bala. Ryan Brobble's already in there, and then Declan Mannis drops in, and when he does that, Jordan Williams looks to run in behind. So they've got the real threats when they've got comfortable possession, when John Routledge and Danny Redmond have got the ball in midfield. That's what they're looking for. Can they slide it into Brobble's feet or Declan McManus's feet, or can they look to play Jordan Williams in behind?
McManus, definitely one of the harder working centre forwards in the Ross Premier, Cymru Premier League. Stevens. I know it's tough to play against, Chris, when a team can make decisions like buying a £60,000 striker. But how have you seen the value of the transfer for TNS?
Well, it was obviously something that they felt in the summer, that an area of the pitch they needed to invest in. Obviously, they brought in Declan McManus and Jordan Williams as well, and it was certainly McManus has certainly hit the ground running, and when you bring in centre forwards, you want him to get goals early, and he certainly did that. He got off to a good start, I think, in Europe. I think he scored a hat-trick, and he's just kind of kicked on from there. But from what I've seen of him so far, he looks a real handful, and likes the ball into his feet, but doesn't mind going the other way as well.
Oliver Shannon taking a yellow there for Bala. Hudson sends a diag down into the corner. Mendes. Redmond again in the holding role in midfield. Does a good job in there with Routledge.
Yeah, I was talking about before, Danny Redmond. I really like him, Mark. He's obviously left-footed, but real technical player, good quality on the ball,
and aggressive.
Yeah. You've seen the pass he put in for Declan McManus' chance to start the second half. Just needed one look and puts a good ball in.
Smith. I think Paul Rutherford would be a little bit disappointed over on the right-hand side, because everything they are doing or trying to do is down Will Evans' side against Davis, and apart from a few headers, Will hasn't really got round Davis at all.
Yeah, I think on Rutherford there, I think you've got to give Chris Marriott a bit of credit as well. Been around the block, Chris. He's not daft. He knows the game. He knows the threats that Rutherford is going to bring, and he's coped with them really well.
Yeah, I think that sums itself up by the first game of the season between Connors Quay and TNS. I think Jamie Mullen started against Chris Marriott, and I thought this will be interesting. And I think Marriott come out on top of that, and Mullen was, of course, especially a few years ago, the flyer in the Cymru Premier League. I believe you have one now at the moment, Mwandi, one of the top wide men, would you say, in this league at present?
Yeah, look, I think he's made a good start. He's a young player. You know, we're pleased with what he's done so far, and but you know, we think he can get better. And you know, he's certainly playing. You know, the last sort of 12 months with us, he lost a year of football due to COVID, and he was didn't play football, come back, and yeah, you know, look, he started this season really well. But you know, with a young player, you need games and consistency, and hopefully he can keep going.
That battle in midfield again between Redmond and Kieran Smith. It's been a keen battle all evening. Not much love lost in there between them two. Distances now, Chris. I know this is a direct and straighter kick, but look at the difference outside the 18-yard area line, TNS's starting line. And Clark
tried to work something there with Paul Rutherford just coming around, but Ben Clark did really well. And what they'd done there, Mark, as well, they'd split the two centre halves, so they'd split Hudson and Astles, and
Kay with the header, headed away by Williams. Yeah, break could be on here. Clark, Mendes tracks back. Danny Davis galloping faster, so just outside. Rutherford is a decent move this time. Marriott stands it up to the back post. McManus back inside. Dave Edwards tracks to the edge of his area. Volley just wide of the target. Just sort of playing with that knowledge that they got the 2-goal lead for me, Chris. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not breaking their neck, TNS, at the moment.
Yeah, look, it'd be something they will have experienced. The lads on the pitch will have experienced this quite a lot, you know, being up at half time and knowing how to see games out and knowing when to slow the game down and when to, you know, go and counter attack. You know, they did a decent counter attack just then, but you know, they'll know their roles and know their jobs.
Table in front of us, Chris, and that for the first time in a long time, I think that Bala could go out of the top 6 tomorrow.
Yeah, but I think, you know, there are 8 games to go off 7, obviously 7 to go for
21 points. Yeah,
for Bala. There's a, you know, if you still work off that sort of you know, the 32 points as a guide after 22 games, I think, you know, stats will tell you, historically it'll tell you that if you get 32 after 22, then you know, you're usually in. You'd be very, 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 very unfortunate, you know, not to be in.
I can remember somebody sneaking in, some genius sneaking in with 27 points about 10 years ago, and that was the lowest total ever.
Well, I think we had 28 one year with Neil at Prestatyn. Were you going to say you got in at 27, did you? I remember we got in at 28 one year at Prestatyn.
Yeah. 2010, I think.
Yeah, was it?
27 points. Snuck in, top 6 again, Port Talbot. Well done. Offside there, Declan McManus.
Oh, but still, you know, without stating the obvious here, but there's still lots of football to be played. And
24 points to play for.
Yeah, you know, everyone will cut each other's throats as well. You know, you've got to remember that, you know, especially in the next 3 or 4 weeks. If you look at, you know, our games, I think we've got Aberystwyth to come, we've got Flint, we've got to play Cardiff Met twice.
6 points over Christmas is vital to
Of course, yeah. And then all of a sudden, if you pick up some points there and, you know, there's a couple of draws, then all of a sudden the league table can change quickly.
Davis out jumps Smith, gets the header in. McManus again chasing Stevens. Redmond picking a hell of a lot up now in that holding role again. Gives it away unusually. Rutherford. When you're looking for a reaction, I have to say, Caton has to be pleased with the way his team have reacted to that 2-0 down in 17 or 18 minutes. Smith. Will Evans pulls it back across this time. Redmond again. Redmond is coming more and more influential in this game. I don't think he'd be far off any sort of man of the match award come the end of the game. Clark.
Yeah, you've just seen there that the switch of play there, that attack has come from, you know, Sean Smith getting loads of space and linking up quite well with Will Evans and putting a ball in the box. The TNS got it clear, but they just need to sustain attacks, Bala. It's very difficult when you play TNS because, you know, you've seen this now, that they get the ball back and they hit you on the break and, you know, they play with good quality.
Bravo, late tackle. Smith could be in trouble there. McManus gets it. McManus to make it 3. Great save, Ramsey again. He's made 4 or 5 of them. Penalty given. He makes the save, Ramsey, but then takes McManus down from behind. After making such a terrific save, he was over-eager, if you like, to win the ball back. And I don't think there's any doubt it's a penalty.
Yeah, it's come from a good break. Yeah, look, McManus does really well, just chops inside there, and then has a shot. Alex Ramsey does initially well and just grabs hold of his foot.
Grabs his leg, just grabs his leg. And it's McManus to add to his total. Yellow card as well given to Kieran Smith before the incident. Ramsey interested in the showing McManus the right side of the goal. He's almost standing lopsided in the goals there. McManus to make it 3 for the league leaders. Or can Ramsey keep his team in it? McManus straight down the middle. 3-0 to TNS. And that could spell a 3-point haul.
Yeah, good penalty, you know, straight down the middle. But, you know, just come from, Bala just had a little bit of possession and put a couple of balls in the box, and we talked about it, they broke and went into Brobble. He found Declan McManus, he's chopped inside and had the initial shot, and then obviously got fouled, and then, you know, as all good goal scorers do, you know, finishes it off well, and now, you know, it's 3-0 and difficult for Bala.
When the goals are flowing, they come from all different ways, and penalties are a present that Declan McManus gladly accepted. Could be interesting there. There's one just going down Shannon in front of the referee. As a contest now, this game is most probably over. Playing for pride, you're playing for... The worst thing that could happen here now is for another goal to be conceded. It's a chance again. Oh, what a hell of a chance that was for Williams. It is gone over. It's bundled in for 4-0. Error after error in that 6-yard box. Jordan Williams will be pleased with that one. Alex Ramsey will be very, very disappointed with that. Limbrick turns away. Definitely game over now. Jordan Williams on target. Bala 0, TNS 4.
Yeah, just come from play down the side there. Ball in from Ben Clark. Bit of a parry, bit of a scramble. I think probably Jordan Williams should score the first time, and then it's come back to him, and then it's just bobbled in off him. But just a little bit similar to that first goal, Mark. You know, just Bala had a couple of chances to clear it. It's a bit of a bobbling around the box and just hits Jordan Williams and goes in.
Absolutely, but to do our job properly, Chris, I don't think there's any sitting on the fence. Ramsey simply has to collect the first cross. Two hands right into him. He'd be disappointed with that, Alex. Williams will be elated and a change will be made.
Yeah, making a couple of subs.
Alan Woods coming off Oliver Southern.
Oliver Southern coming on. I think it would just be a like-for-like change. That Oliver is a right back, I think, and then Jordan Williams is coming off, so scores his goal and then gets subbed by the manager.
I don't think it'll go down in Jordan's album of great goals, but they all count, Chris.
Absolutely, yeah. He won't be bothered about that. It's gone in. As I say, I thought he could have finished it just before that, and then he didn't, and the ball's hit him, and then Adrian Sizovic comes on.
What do they say, Chris? When you're playing against good teams, especially league leaders like TNS, you have to take your chances when you get them, because they will undoubtedly take their chances when they get them. And from not even half chances, they've scored 2 goals. It's 4-0 in 70 minutes, and it's all about now Bala keeping the score down for me.
Yeah, I'm probably having flashbacks here, Mark. The amount of times that we played them where, you know, we've been in the game and we've done okay, and you're like, you're 2-0 down at half time, and you can, how does that happen? You know, you've had some good chances, not taking them. And then, you know, Bala started the game off okay. They've had a couple of scrambles in the box, a couple of balls in the box, and then all of a sudden within, 3-4 minutes, it's 4-0 down. And as you say, then, very, very, very difficult now.
Will Evans being withdrawn after 70 minutes. Good effort from Evans.
Yeah, Danny Walker-Rice, I think, coming on.
Yeah, Walker-Rice will come on now.
Another like-for-like change.
I think it will be interesting to see what Caton does now. I think he'll definitely beef the midfield up now. like you said, we've all been there, Chris, against TNS. What would you do? Myself personally, now, I think I'd bolster the back line. I'd stop Sean Smith and the substitutes so than getting anywhere near the TNS app. Oh, just missed his chance for a fifth then.
Yeah, another good ball in by Declan, man. It's just feeding it into that area there where, you know, defenders don't want to deal with it, and the goalkeeper's not sure whether to come or not, and then near the end they managed to get away with it.
It's a tough game, Chris, and you know, and I know, most probably hardest job in football is the man between the sticks. When you're on form, you're the king. When you're not on form, the spotlight is firmly on you.
Yeah, it is, and it, you know, as you say, you know, when you make an error, it pretty much is going to end up in the back of your net. You know, that's I suppose that's the perks or the bad bits of being a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Smith. Kieran Smith has just kept going and going all evening, battling on.
You talk about playing against TNS, Mark, and you know, we've tried everything. We try to press them high, you drop in. You know, one time you might get a result playing a certain way, and you think, right, you know, we've cracked it. You play the same way the next time, and then you know, you end up on the end of a big defeat. They can do it. They can do it to you. Look, you know, they're good players, and one thing they do when they sniff blood, you know, they really go for it. And yeah, I think absolutely. That, you know, you can see that, you know, they score goals in chunks. If you look at tonight, you know, the third and fourth goal, bang bang, and then they take the game away from you.
Yeah, well, like you said, they've got goal scorers in their ranks. Clark is starting to pop a few from midfield. Jordan Williams is getting on board the score sheet. Brobble, who hasn't got one this evening, and McManus is the king or the ace of the goal scorers in the Cymru Premier League at the moment. Rutherford gets it across. They're keen to get in the tackle again. Brobble's even getting on the act on tackles now. Chiselvic. Adrian Chiselvic will enjoy his last 17 minutes. Great time to come on for a winger.
Yeah, I think you know, if Bala do push high, trying to, you know, get the way back into it, then, you know, one player that you won't want to be caught against if you're stuck on the halfway line with spacing behind you is Sizovic, because he is quick.
It's great to have a manager alongside us, Chris, this evening, because, you know, just to let the viewers know, the transfer window obviously is most probably the same as the obviously the English Premier League, and the time scales and everything, and clubs at this league, TNS apart. Could there be a couple of big transfers around the Christmas period, would you say?
Yeah, look, you know, something that you know it's in, obviously in January. It's coming up, and you know, we've been planning, and you know, I think every club's do the same. You're looking at what you've got, and you know what you need, and you know, there might be one or two that might move on. There might be a couple you might want to bring in. So I think every club will be doing the same. You know, last year it was pivotal for us. You know, we needed it. We needed that influx of players, and you know, we brought
3 majors last year. Shane Sutton back. Who else came back for you at Christmas last year?
Well, we signed, obviously, Alex Fletcher came back. From Mwambe came back as well as Shane. So you know, we had some.
They were massive signings.
Yeah,
probably were the biggest reason for you getting back into Europe. That is how important it is.
Yeah, of course.
Clark. It's 5-on-4 here. Clark, does he get it wide to Davis? Davis, did he put it across, or does he want to get on the goal scoring act? Brobble misguides his shot over the top.
Yeah, but going back to the January transfer window, Mark, you talked about it then. You know, it is vital. We proved that last year. You know, we needed a bit of a boost. We were not where we wanted to be. You know, and being able to sign, you know, the 3 or 4 players that we brought in, give the squad a boost. Obviously, then we were in lockdown when we signed them, so we had a little bit longer. Although we didn't train face to face, we had a little bit longer to integrate the group. And then when we did start back, you know, we were able to kick on, and I'm sure there'll be teams looking at it thinking that, you know, they can bring in 3 or 4 fresh faces to add to the group. You know, it might help them in achieving their goals for the season.
Very important time for every football club. the game most probably here is over as a contest. Bala obviously trying to keep the score to a minimum. Didn't look that way in the first half. The 2 goals, 2-goal lead was always going to make TNS in a relaxed mood for the second half and able to pick off.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want, that when they're in that mode, and you know, and the more desperate you get, and the more you go and chase it,
the more clinical
they are, and you know they'll pick you off in the counter attack, and you know it's difficult to get the ball back off them as well. You know, because they move it that well, they shift it that well, they rotate really well, and they drag you out of positions, and yeah, it's a tough ask.
Yet again, I think we have to reiterate that they were just a kick away from the group stages almost into getting into the Champions League, which would mean the first time ever. They were speaking to Limerick about it earlier on. I think you were with me when I said when they were 4-0 up at home in the summer, and they conceded 2 goals in the 89th and the 92nd minute. That's what cost them. And they're looking back to that sort of form now. Look at the speed they're breaking at now, Clark. Oh, just over the top. We were sat right behind that and looked in all the way.
Yeah,
superb effort.
Yeah, it did again. No, you know, counter attack, turn the ball over in the middle of the park, and you know, one pass, and then they're running at your back 4. And as I said before, you know, one person you don't want is Adrian Sizovic running at you, because he can move, and you know, again, but I think, you know, Redmond and Clark have been really good and really impressive tonight in terms of regains, and I think he's just done the rest now. Redmond, yeah, Leo Smith and Louis Robles coming on.
When you're bringing on the likes of Leo Smith, who was one of the star signings in the summer. McManus is leaving the field with a goal to his name. So
yeah,
Louis Robles and Leo Smith coming on.
Yeah, it's been a good night for Declan McManus, obviously getting his goal, and Danny Redmond as well. And then, you know, as you say, nice to bring on, you know, 2 players with Robles and Smith's quality. Shows the strength of the squad that they've got, Mark, doesn't it?
You mentioned Ben Clark then, and I've been surprised this evening, being sat right on the touchline and watching him again. From a year or 18 months ago, he's obviously got more stronger physically, but pace-wise, I didn't realise how quick he was, Chris.
Yeah, I think, look, this is what you talk about as a young player, you know, having the loan system. And I think if you remember, I think he's been...
Carnarvon?
Yeah, well, I think Island did no first, and then he went to Carnarvon.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were important parts in his development. You know, obviously playing in the league, playing within the league, you know, physically, you mentioned that there. And I'm sure, you know, that... that was been an important part of his development. Then he comes back in and then, you know, pushes for a spot in the first team, which he's over the last sort of 6 to 12 months he's managed to pin down. Yeah,
and the strength of their squad is shown by the 2 substitutes. I say once again, Leo Smith and Louis Robles coming on just adds more after Adrian Sizovic coming on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know, and
that could be one of the best benches ever in this evening. You know. More air on the ball, headed away by Hudson, helped away by Marriott.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see when you're 4-0 down, is it really?
Enterprise and effort from Bala all evening. Quality and goals from TNS. That's why the scoreline is Bala Town 0, TNS 4.
Yeah.
80th minute on the clock.
Yeah, as I said before, you be in the game against them, Mark, and there's nothing worse. And all of a sudden you switch off, and that's just what cost us 2 weeks ago. You know, we were in the game for large periods. Probably on another day could have been in front at half time. We had a really good chance right at the stroke of it. But then they put a little bit of quality together for the first goal. Ryan Brobble pass, Baker cross, McManus header, and then you're 1-0 down, and then. You know, then they score again off a set play, and we were disappointed with that because it sounds cheap when you score off a set play, but you've seen them score tonight.
Yeah,
but they've got good quality. They've got 2 big lads who are a real menace in the opposition box as well, who cause problems.
Simon Mendes disappointed there that the linesman's flagged for the free kick, pressing to get the ball back off Marriott. Marriott with all the time in the world. David Edwards just walking towards the halfway line. That could have been a big changing point in this game when David Edwards put the bend that in just a couple of minutes before the half time. He's having a tremendous season, Edwards, in his first season in the Cymru Premier League after a wonderful career with Wales.
Yeah, I said it before, I think it's good to see, you know, the likes of him coming into the National League and playing.
He's definitely added a lot of quality.
It's been a tough night for him tonight. Look, you know, playing up front by yourself against TNS is never easy. It's never easy. You know, you plough along furrow. It's difficult for them. You're playing against two big lads as well. You know, the balls into you are fighting balls at times. So you know, it's been a tough one for him tonight.
Oh, tremendous reply. The substitute comes on.
Yeah, Chris Sang there.
Sang is a tremendous goal in the corner.
Yeah, good finish, a good play by Paulo Mendes, and just half a yard, and he gets his shot off, and yeah, good sub.
Well, they've most probably earned that with their effort on the evening, Bala, to be fair to him.
Is that his first touch, Mark? I think,
yeah,
is it?
I think it is.
Yeah, it must be his first touch.
Edwards off, Sang on.
Yeah, good little pass by Lysander Mendes there, and he just gets half a yard and puts it in the bottom corner.
Harrison will be disappointed. Mendes in. He'd lost his marker and put the shot past Paul Harrison.
Yeah, good finish.
Maybe not a 4-0 at the game itself. I would say Bala would deserve a goal. Whipped across the front again. Stevens puts it behind. Unfortunately for Sang and Bala, it most probably is a consolation goal, Chris.
Yeah, I think, like you said before, though, I think they probably feel that they may deserve one, Mark, with their play. Especially in that first part and the first half of the second half where they pressed and pressed. But TNS's 2 goals, he took the game away from them.
Corners whipped in. Oh, what a header that was from Danny Davis. Robles wide of the target. There's 2 of the easiest. The last one especially was one of the easier chances of the night, and Louis Robles would be disappointed he didn't convert the second chance. Great header from Davis.
Yeah, it's interesting that, Mark, you know, he's one of them ones, Danny, where because he's not a big lad, if you like, in height-wise, people don't probably forget about it when you put together sort of pick it up from set plays. But he scored a few goals for TNS this year, and he does it really well. He's got a good spring on him, good jump, and he's someone that, you know, when we were playing TNS, someone we earmarked from set plays to make sure we kept an eye on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, obviously the 2 main targets would be Ryan Aspells and Blaine Hudson. And sometimes when you are decent in the air and the big men are getting picked up, there is always room for one of them types of runs.
But sometimes they will use the 2 big ones as a bit of a dummy. They've done it for years with Aaron Edwards, where they used to use Aaron getting round the back.
Yeah.
And you know, they'd almost use that as the main ones as a dummy, and then get him. And they've done that with Danny there. It was a great jump and you know, just rattled the crossbar.
He was a good exponent of that as well, Aaron Edwards.
Keep walking.
Aberystwyth in a big game this evening, their current form, and they are 1-0 behind against Connors Key at present, so they're still in the game there. What a point that would be again tonight. The Connors Key are starting to build up momentum, and they would be my personal favourites for second place at the moment, Connors Key, as well as Flint have done, as well as Penabont and Newtown are doing. I just think they have experience, and within that, like you said, there's plenty of points still to play for.
Yeah, I would say that. I think when Craig went in, obviously with Andy leaving, but when Craig went in, we went there and we beat them 2-0, but it was an absolute, like the Alamo, Mark.
Yeah.
it was like the Alamo, you know, to be fair to them. They caused us a load of problems, but it was probably our night on the evening, and you know, we scored a goal and then they scored an own goal, and we just had to dig in and defend. But you know, I was coming away from that, there was no doubt in my mind that they would pick up and
come again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought that.
And you know, there's no they've still got, you know, the likes of, obviously, you know, George in there, John Disney,
people that league.
Yeah,
absolutely,
absolutely.
Obviously, their replacement manager was a coach and a manager who'd already won the title 6 times with TNS, so there's not a lot Harrison doesn't know about this league and his players, so don't expect any surprises up there in the top 2 come the end of the season. Bala still plugging away. Mendes. Yeah. Mendes has covered a lot of ground on the evening. Routledge gets a tug back. Referee says play on. Chizelvich. Smith tight on. Shannon. Second goal. Again would be consolation most probably to Bala.
Yeah, I think reflect on it, you know, if you're Colin, if you're Bala, you'd feel you've been in the game for spells. You know, you've had good some bouts of possession, you've had some chances, but you know, you just those key crucial moments in the game, and when you're playing the top teams,
mistakes,
you need them to go for you, and they haven't tonight. And
they definitely haven't. Leo Smith enjoying a run out. You've been in the league a long time, Chris, and you know you've seen plenty of players, even from your own club, going to the Football League. The likes of Danny Davis, Leo Smith and company. Do you think they may get a few approaches coming around the Christmas period?
Look, I think anyone would tell you it's opportunities, isn't it? And it's being in sometimes, you know, that right moment or the right time, and you know, certainly the exposure that our league gives you, you know, obviously tonight, you know, it's a live game, the highlights packages and everything else. So, you know, it's a good opportunity for young players to come in, and you know, the boys that you've just mentioned there would, you know, obviously Leo's been involved at a full-time club and come out of it. You know, so there are opportunities there. But you know, if you're playing in a winning team, it obviously gets you noticed as well.
Yeah, definitely. Smith putting a foot in, chance on here, the breaks on, 2 against 2, Robles makes a run. Anthony Stevens may just trouble the referee there for a yellow, late on, 88 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, you talked before, Mark, about good fouls. I think that was probably in that category there by
Stevens taking one for the team.
By Anthony, yeah, definitely.
Not many times we've heard that saying, but it's true. Astles and Hudson. Davis. Did you see the players in front of us now? Bala physically, apart from a couple of substitutes, absolutely shattered. This amount of time they've been running around after that ball, Chris, and TNS are just starting again to parade the ball around.
Yeah, I said before, you want to try and get the ball so that you can get a head of steam up to try and get back in the game and build some pressure, but it does become very difficult because they do keep the ball so well.
Yeah,
you know, they press really well as well. And
with 90 minutes approaching, summing up, Chris, I think you summed it up a couple of minutes ago, to be fair to you, was that it hasn't been a lacklustre performance by Bala, and it hasn't been a magical performance by TNS, but the simple fact is they're 4-1 winners. They've pounced on any mistakes that Bala have made and offered them, and it's a resounding 4-1 victory to the league leaders.
Yeah, I think you summed it up quite nicely there, Mark. You know, it's TNS have done what they've needed to do. You know, when the chances have come, they've taken them. You know, as you say, you know, Bala have certainly performed well and taken the chances, but it's yeah, we've just seen the first goal there. You know,
I think that maybe that Malcolm Allen has given Ben Clark the Man of the Match award, which I think we spoke about in the first half, and I think he's earned it.
Yeah, he showed up really well. I think we just spoke about him before, didn't we? You know, we talked about his industriousness, Mark, and getting forward, and you know, he's got, you know, good physical capabilities, and yeah, he's obviously a good athlete, and he looks like he can play a little bit as well. And you know, I talked about that loan spell that he had. You know, certainly benefited him as well.
Stevens, Kale bringing Ramsey Ramsey just has to put his foot through. That does well there, Ramsey. Hudson, offside flag given against Rutherford, I think, coming back from onside. Only consolation, of course, for the Lakesiders was a late goal from Chris Sang, but the 4 goals had already done the damage. Rutherford is just another day at the office for the likes of Rutherford, Redmond.
Yeah, it's a big 3 points for him, I think, isn't it? You know, for TNS. Obviously, when you're Bala away, you mark that down. It's always a tough game in the calendar, but you know they'll be pleased. Anthony will be really pleased with the application of the players tonight.
I think it's simply because the last few games since he's taken over Limerick, he's never had an easy game against Bala, and the result, whether it has been easy or not, is one of the best results he's had against Bala. So he'll be really pleased with a 4-1 victory at Moise Tegid. Not many people come to Moise Tegid and stroll a game.
Yeah, as I said, he'd be delighted with that.
And Colin Caton, I'm sure, will reassemble his troops, get them together and start planning for the last 7 games. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Bala get in the top 6. It's where they belong. I would expect them to stay in the top 6.
Yeah, as you said before, there's a lot of football to be played. So, you know, 7 games to go. Yeah, you know, it's fine. They've got some big games. We've all got big games coming up now. You know, the Christmas games, but before that, some big games coming up as well. So, you know, everything to look forward to and everything to play for.
Corner given, 93 minutes on the clock. Just a chance now for TNS, maybe to add to their 4-goal total. In fact, there is the final whistle blown by the referee, Lee Evans. A comprehensive victory at Moise Tegid for the league leaders, TNS, 4-1 victors against Bala Town. Chris, it's been great to have you alongside. Good luck, obviously, to everybody tomorrow. Good luck to yourself, Newton and Barry. I hope it's a great game tomorrow. Thank you very much for being alongside us again this evening.
Cheers, thank you, Mark. Thanks, everyone. Enjoyed it.
Look out for the highlights on Sgorio on Monday evening.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, wel am ganlyniad ac am dreffwynt arall i'r Seintiau Newydd. Mae'n parhau'n gol i ddim ar goeden y parc yn y llaw. Ceycon ar y blaen, Mendes gyda gol yn y gêm yna. Ceycon ddim wedi colli ers dechrau Hydref, jyst i atgoffa chi pethau newid iddyn nhw, ond y Seintiau unwaith eto yn edrych yn gyfforddus tu ar brig yn ymestyn i Mantes ar y brig hefyd. Weithiau mae'n anodd gwybod beth i ddweud ar ôl gêm fel yna, achos chi'n disgwyl mewn ffordd o'r Seintiau. Mae'n wedi goffa gweithio'n galed i ennill unrhyw gêm o 4-1, ond eto dwi'n yn sioc o gwbl.
Na, da ni'n gallu efallai tanlinellu problemau y Bala. Dwi'n mynd i drio canolbwyntio ar y Seintiau a meddwl pa mor dda oedden nhw, ond ddylia bod nhw ddim cweit gymaint a hynna'n well na'r Bala. Oherwydd ar ddechrau'r tymor, da ni'n disgwyl iddyn nhw fod yn ail neu'n drydydd efallai os oedd Ceycon yn mynd i fod mor gry. Mi fydd hwn yn ni'n brifo nhw. A maen nhw wedi colli yn drwm cwpl o weithiau'n ddiweddar.
Ildio llawer yn y mis diwethaf, ildio 4 erbyn Ceycon, ddwywaith 3 yn erbyn y Dre Newydd.
A rwan 4 eto heno yn erbyn y Seintiau, felly mae yna broblem yna. Mae'r Bala'n dîm sydd wedi bod yn gadarn yn y cefn dros y blynyddoedd diwethaf. A mae'r rhywun yn chwaraewyr neu lot o'n nhw dal yma. Felly, os mae rhywbeth ar y cae marfer sydd ddim cweit yn gweithio, neu angen gwneud rhywbeth chydig bach yn wahanol, mae yna broblemau ar hyn o bryd. Ond ddawn nhw eto.
Ie, dim problemau o ran y Seintiau Newydd. Dewch i ni glywed. Gan i reolwr hapus nhw, byddwn ni'n tybio, mae Anthony Limbrick gyda Sioned.
Limbrick summed up that performance for me. It was pretty much job done from the off.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we started the game very well. We were on the front foot. We passed it well, created chances and scored the first goal, which I think was always going to be important tonight. I thought Bala had a really tough spell in the second half where they got at us. We had to change shape a little bit and tactically change a few things. And then Paul Harrison made a great save at 2-0, and that could have been a very different game. I think when we managed to see through that little period, then that gave us the platform to create, attack and score, and probably in the second half we could have had a few more.
I have to mention Ben Clark, a complete performance from him this evening, Anthony.
Yeah, pleased with Clark. There's competition for places in the middle of the pitch there, and there's been some tough players been left out, and he's really taken his opportunity late, and we're pleased that he scored tonight.
Do you think he meant that top left finish?
He certainly didn't mean to hit it like that. I'm sure he meant to score, but yeah, there was a bit of banter flying around at half-time, and he certainly didn't mean it, yeah.
That's, just looking back, it felt like yesterday we were here for your very first game in charge back in April, reflecting on the period that you've been with TNS. Where can you go from here? Is there more to come?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, I think we can play better, we can improve. We want to improve from last season, and we come second in the league, and that's not good enough for TNS, so we want to try and improve and try and push as much as we can. There's still bits we can improve on with this team, and I think we showed that tonight. There's still room for growth.
Anthony, it's freezing, so I'll let you go and warm up. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you.
Mr Limbrick yn ddyn hapus iawn fan hyn, dechreuodd y cyfan o fe nôl y mis Ebrill. Ydyn ni datblygu o y cyfnod yni, ydyn ni wedi newid fel tîm o gwbl?
Ma'n wedi gwella os da ni'n asesu'r perfformiad yma, ond ar y pryd oedden nhw mewn brwydr i ennill y gyngrair, ac yn amlwg da ni sôn wastad Cei Conan edrych yn gry, felly weithiau mae'n cymryd amser i'r tîm ddod i arfer efo'i syniadau fo, ond os mae dyna da ni'n mynd i weld bob un wythnos, wel, look out i weddill y gyngrair am gyfnod eitha hir, felly chwarae teg iddo fo, mae yna wellad, ond maen nhw wedi dod yma yn erbyn tîm sydd yn ddihyder ar hyn o bryd, ond chwarae teg iddo fo, mae'n gwneud gwaith gwych ar hyn o bryd, ac ar ei ffordd i ennill y gyngrair.
Ben Clark ser yn y gêm, ond y rheolwr yn cadarnhau, oedd e ddim yn mynd am y gol nawr. Oedd e'n mynd am y gol yn amlwg, oedd e ddim yn ceisio'r sgil fach na'r gornel ucha.
Diolch yn fawr, Anthony. Dwi'n teimlo'n smug iawn, a mi fydd Nick Parry a Malcolm Allen yn derbyn neges gen i yn hwyrach ymlaen i ddeud mae fi oedd yn gywir, ond mae'n trio sgorio yn amlwg, ond dwi erioed wedi gael chwaraewr yn ceisio efo tu allan i droed o'r pellter yna, ond gol dda gan chwaraewr a ser yn y gêm, oedd o'n heiddi gol doedd.
Gyda'r Bala'n colli, Cei Conan ennill ar hyn o bryd, y clybiau eraill yn disgwyl yn eiddgar ar gyfer beth sydd i ddod pnawn fori. Mae mor agos, galleth unrhyw beth newydd dros nos, felly fydd y Bala, fel wedyn ni hanner amser allan o'r 6 ucha erbyn nos fori.
Ie, ond dwi dal yn teimlo, mi nawn nhw wella, mi nawn nhw ddod dros y cyfnod yma. Neith o'n parhau yn weddill y tymor. Pencampwyr llynedd a'r tymor cyn, mae nhw dal yn mynd i wella. Ond fydd clybau fel y Flint a Dre Newydd, mi fydden nhw'n teimlo pam ddim ni. Allith i fod mor agorad â hynna, mae'r ail safle pwysig i gyrraedd Ewrop eleni.
Hyfryd, Owen. Diolch yn fawr iawn am y cwmni. Cofiwch i ddilyn Sgorio ar y gyfannau cymdeithasol. Fyddwn ni gyda chi drwy'r penwythnos fel arfer yr holl goliau fel maen nhw'n mynd mewn. Wel, dim yn syth yn amlwg, ond sylwy'r holl gemau i gyd. A di llun wedyn ni, eich pwynt i hanner o di 5, a chydig yn hwyrach na'r arfer noslin, 20 munud i 11. Mae'n werth aros fan i'n hwyr i weld y gorau o uwch gyngor Cymru JD ar Sgorio. Diolch am eich cwmni heno. Hwyl fawr i chi.
Mae'n rhoi 110% i fi heddiw.